I've been denied too much. Look at this cute boy dangling.
Yeah, but if you scroll up 1, 2, 3, 4, fuck it, I'll just post it again.
The Argus thing, I saw that one, yes.
No.
I commented on it even.
This
Oh,
one.
oh
No,
yeah,
I know.
the little boys in the hole. Get a load of those boys.
Yeah.
Wait,
Everybody's having a meltdown over VR chat. Really?
what's going on with VR chat?
VR chat banned all mods.
All mods?
They
Yep.
can't mod the game because people were using the mods to crash other people's games. Now they've disabled mods, and now people who used mods to like, oh shit, I can't hear anything. I need like sign language or whatever, right? You can't use it anymore, and so they're rioting over it. Now I'm like,
Yeah, even the
wow.
non-controversial mods have been banned. They just blanket banned all third-party mods.
This honestly fucking feels like when RuneScape was planning to ban RuneLite.
It's
And
kind of
now
like
it's part of their fucking launcher.
it's kind of like what they did. They're doing with Minecraft in the next update.
What are they gonna do in Minecraft in the next update?
They are going to add a hard locked profanity filter to all online services and a report feature that can get your account banned from all online use of Minecraft.
Edgy boy, your statements are so controversial.
I said that this is fucking dumb because it just like, corporate censorship, and everybody started throwing bricks at me for it.
Well, my problem with it is it makes sense to control a game that you control, but Minecraft doesn't host the servers. If they want to control them, they should host the server.
Golly.
Maybe in my group we're all adults and we can curse at each other.
Yeah, but Tyler, what if a hacker man child gets in on the server?
Yes. What if a child lies about their age?
Well, then that's up to the people owning the server.
What if
not
someone
my
breaks the
problem.
end user license agreement to break the end user license agreement again?
See, this is why even my late father was saying children should not be allowed on the internet because the internet becomes worse because of them.
I can testify. I was part of the worst. Nah, I don't think I did much online in terms of like social activities, for PvP games and everything. So
I think adding on to what you said, Como, it's not even just that the children make everything worse. It's that for some reason the people around the children who aren't get worse. Like the children are bad, and the people around them also go bad. Like they have a ripple effect.
It's really fucking weird that I'm looking at a map of Canada, and what goes through my head is, I saw Road Quest, and I know what that place is. I'm like, oh, Dawson City, Whitehorse. I think they went there, or they mentioned it at least. I want to go there sometime. Road Quest looks so nice. Load and Ready Run did it. They went on a road trip to like the Yukon or something like that. I know very little about that area. Everything that comes out of the U.S. is like about mainland U.S. Never about Alaska. Never hear much about anything in Canada that's like north of the northern U.S. border. If it's north of Winnipeg,
you hear about Alberta and Toronto a little bit.
Yeah, but anything north of Winnipeg might as well not exist.
Or Saskatchewan.
Listen, I want to hear about Saskatoon. There's a place called Regina, like in Rocket Power. There's a place called Slave Lake. Oh, that is a hell of a name. Oh, that's a name. Hudson's Hope. God damn. It's so flat there, too. Like, I plopped down my little boy, and I was like, God damn, this is flat. It makes the Netherlands almost look curved.
God, you go down to Florida, you'll see some flat, too.
To be fair, Florida is in the Netherlands in the sense that it should be underwater, and it will probably be soon. And unlike the Netherlands, they took no effort to stop it.
No, you see, the Netherlands of the U.S. is New Orleans,
which
is underwater. But unlike the Netherlands, they have one levee, and they never update it.
Oh, infrastructure bills are very, very, very boring. Like Venice,
Yeah.
Why should you bother investing? Man, New Orleans does not look as big as I thought it was.
Like, the Dutch dikes and stuff, you guys pay attention to those.
Those things are fucking huge, man. I
saw
the like, how are they so big? They're huge-mungus. You could crack a knuckle
especially when some of them are like 300 years old.
I like to call that one effort. Oh boy. Man, I want to watch Road Quest again. That's such a nice, comfortable show. It's so weird what time it came into.
When I was a kid, all the shows I ever wanted to watch were on at like 2 in the morning. That was because US TV networks were weird up until like 2006, where they would be based on the initial broadcast time. Like they'd always say it's on, uh, 2 p.m. Western and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would mean that like Pokemon came on for me at 1:30 p.m. when I was in school. Also, at the East Coast could watch it. So all of my shows are beholden to the East Coast.
Because that's where New York is. They'll spend thousands of dollars making sure life is comfortable for their ridiculous apartments that no one wants to live in because they're terribly managed. Holy shit, what? So I'm like looking at the big zoom out map and I notice that the border between North Dakota and Minnesota is like all whacking the fuck out. And then I zoom in and it's like, oh, the border's on this fucking crisscrossing river that goes all over the place. What is your deal, Red River? What is your deal? You're making this map awkward. The Crow Reservation. Oh, that's adorable. Is that here? Where is it again? There's like a section that's all like weird. I think it's Wyoming, Colorado, and everything where the Dead Man Zone is. Man. Love the Mercator projector that Google Maps uses. Greenland is huge. Sure, it ain't.
Yeah, I love the Mercator projections. Just everyone thinks everything's weird sized.
Alright, so how big is the Netherlands? It's about the size of Florida. Hell no, it ain't.
How big is it? Half the size of Oregon?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Well, half the size of Norkin is visible because they're about on the same height. Like latitude, longitude. I never know which one it is. North, south. I always get confused by like how southern
you said
the equator is.
I was trying to open Foundry and I forgot you said we weren't using that for
I
this.
always get mixed up by how low the equator really is. Like, there's so little fucking land below there.
It is interesting how much less is below it, unless you're on, in like certain areas. And there's Africa and South America, but for some
Africa.
reason both of those go like pointy at the bottom.
Africa is pretty huge.
Much bigger than people think.
I wouldn't mind generating a new seed for Earth. See what happens. If I ever become a god and I'm very bored, I'll just do Earth again, but I'll like poke my finger in like one very specific spot and see what happens. And then when butterfly theory turns out to be a little overblown, I'll just get a little sad.
Then again, look at Africa, and 2/3 of it is above the equator.
Good job, Africa. I mean, to be fair, a lot of that is the Saharan Desert.
Yeah.
Can't help but love the Egyptian-Sudan border. Love the Western Sahara.
Then you go look at Southeast Asia, and you look where I'm going to be. Right on the equator. Hell yeah. Eternal summer it goes.
Oh, I wish you the best. Good sir, I wish you the best.
I have been stuck there for a month and a half before. It's not that bad.
Wait, the East Sea is called the Sea of Japan. What? I always get mixed up. I'm always like the Hokkaido, like the northern island, is adjacent to like Korea, but no, it's like the little foot of Japan pokes against it. It gets me every time. Why though? Oh man, it always fucks me up that Japan is so much lower because I always get the impression that it's a way colder climate. But no, it's like it's on the level of Iran. I guess it's just the ocean, maybe the Pacific climate that makes it so severe. Oh man, the Coriolis effect makes a man want to spin. Como's out for a bit, but Papua New Guinea. Isn't it fucking incredible that you can just look at a map of the entire world, zoom in, and see hundreds of thousands of pictures detailing all of it. And yet we still live in a world that likes to pretend that intellectual property is a right worth defending. Right now, the internet is built on one of the greatest collections of fuck intellectual property as a concept. And yet here we are. Innovation is stifled under capitalism. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The profit motive directs only very specific innovations and suppresses many others. For true profit lies in denial.
Well, I think that's more of a late stage capitalism problem because in the older days, up until
Yeah, that was a
zero
lot.
2008,
But to be 100% fair, a lot of the innovations back then. I mean, maybe that's just like a modern perspective because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, back then the innovations made a bit more sense. Inventing new fertilizer and garbage, like solving those kinds of simpler human problems.
well, I think it was more that in the older times, the innovation was more punctuated. Because like modern innovation is more refining things that we already have, where up until about 2008 or so, there would occasionally be a huge burst of here is a new thing, everybody is going to try to make it better so they can make more money than the other people. But these days we don't have as many of those coming out because any major innovation is too expensive to be sold to the commercial public. Like look at the 90s for the introduction of easier access to the internet or uh, graphical technology in video games. All of a sudden there was a call for innovation because things were commercially available and people could profit off of making something no one else had.
Bear Island. Holy shit, that's
Full of bears.
Svalbard? I keep thinking about the fact that there's a Dutch story that's about a bunch of fucking idiots who got stuck on Nova Zembla.
Новая Земля.
Hmm?
Новая Земля.
No, we call it Nova Zembla. I unfortunately do not have the power to magically learn your language in like 5 seconds and pronounce it properly. Bunch of fucking idiots. Oh, we're gonna take our little wooden boat and float up into the ice. We'll be perfectly fine with our incredibly bad tech. I don't even know where Nova Zembla is. All I know is that Como's just gonna keep going like, you're saying it wrong, and then he bonks me, and I'm like, I'm just a little man.
No, it's just that the assumption is that you're pronouncing the same way the locals do it, rather than.
Wait, oh
If
god,
you have,
that's
like, a
Nova
local
Zembla? Holy crap, I thought it was like a little baby island, but no, it's like this massive boomerang.
Well, it's called an archipelago for a reason.
Oh, it's Novaya Zemlya.
Yes, there you go.
That makes it a
Oh,
little
the
easier.
second syllable stress. No. Oh wait, no, that's not the second. The first. Always, yeah.
Nova Zemlya.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna say it like I'm drunk, like a real.
That's fine. It's fine. You can't be expected to have perfect pronunciation of the language, sounds of which you don't know how to make. It's the reason why I don't bully my students for mispronouncing things.
Ugh.
Although I probably should.
Anyway, you can go do stuff if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, we could. It's fine. Let's roll some 1d10s.
I've never touched Vampire the Masquerade.
You're not gonna roll 1d10s. You're gonna be rolling fistfuls of them.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
One per
Well,
dot.
I mean, I've never had a chance to play it, but I watched a few videos on it, so just 1d10s all over the place.
So just
Well, let me open up my sheet.
if you ever get your blood pool below 4 or 5, sorry, at 5 or below, basically you're at a half tank. You have to roll your hunger die. Oh, we'll go with 4. Once you get to 4 below, you have to roll your hunger die with things because it's fun. It's a thing that they do in 5th edition, I think, the latest one. But I like the concept of like you're a little peckish. You get a little wiggly. Get your little butt shaking side to side. It's also the point at which because your blood pool affects your self-control virtue as a die pool. But that's all stuff that we're not going to worry about too much. We're just gonna play it by ear. It's just gonna grab my ear and roll by it. That we're not gonna worry. There you go. I'm making sure that everything's properly set up in that regard. All right, cool. Clap, clap. All right. Any questions about your sheet now that you've had a look at it?
Oh, everything is pretty much clear. The only things that I don't
We
know
have
is
sheets?
specifically what this. Yeah, if you scroll up here, hold on, let me copy message link. Beep. It's right there. Yours is Liz Kilroy, the last PDF attached.
So I'm guessing you took Brutus.
Now Brutus is Pullum.
Oh, okay then.
And is knocked.
Noct van Ulbricht.
Yay, I'm the charisma one.
Is that what you liked? I mean, you could take Brutus if you want to.
Nah, I'm fine.
All right.
Plus, like every one of our games. Actually, I was talking about that with Claire about in the Wednesday games. What the typical distribution for who plays the face character is. I think like half of it's Bella, despite the fact that she keeps telling us she doesn't want to be the face.
Well, how about you stop having a face and just learn to live with it?
Well, I mean, more like she always picks huge charisma classes, and then wonders why the person who's good at talking.
Well, she's a scout right now, so charisma is not her thing. So she can chill, pill.
Yeah, this time charisma is more. Well, it's gonna be kind of partially Dizzy's problem.
Paladin. I mean, technically speaking, it doesn't matter who. Your ability scores are merely suggestions that can nudge you in certain directions, and I do always like to waggle my finger at people who get a little too uppity about this stuff. Take skill focus, take the feats for it. Stop pretending like combat's the only element.
Also, thank you for making their character not like bees, because I don't like bees.
The bees! No, wait, he says it with the higher intonation. I don't know.
Because I'm allergic to bees.
I thought you were allergic to... You hated Yellow Jacket specifically, but...
No, it's bees in general. Yellow Jackets are just the most common ones I would run into. The wasp is what almost killed me.
God dang. Alright. Let's... Okay. Oh, the bit wars. Do be careful with those, because images that compress are difficult for people to sometimes shut down. And they might get like, I don't know that sound! Sonic unleaded instead of unleashed. Haha. It makes me laugh. Haha.
Hold on, is this the right one? That's not even loading.
Telling me is a fierce cat. And a glorious cat.
I think this video is actually edited.
I don't know. I saw some people talk about how it might work, but I don't recall the specifics too much. Alright.
Shit, System Shock Remake is getting some shit.
I'm gonna shake my whittle, but.
Yeah, see? I don't know why, but this video is fucking compressed. I knew it. Look at the original. It's entirely different.
Okay, I just got that original sent to me.
The wrist game.
God, the friggin'...
Yeah, I think there's some compression things going on as to why that doesn't work.
Yeah, because I couldn't get past 9 seconds. I thought that was just me.
Not even that. It's just that in the webm the fucking.
I think the problem is that the way I think the problem is a conflict between how Discord manages it. Like they are literally shrinking down the image, so any properly sized one will be heavily skewed and like stretched. One thing I will say about this book is that there's a lot. There's a lot in here. Target size. Damage modifier. Ooh.
Man, if Claire wasn't working today, she'd probably want to be here. She likes this game.
Well, unfortunately, she's Claire, and I thought she didn't want to do more than one game a week.
Probably not, but I think I'm more like full group games. But if it was like a couple weeks of doing Vampire, I think she'd have joined.
God damn it, Claire. It would have been nice to have her around.
I know, but she has work in like a couple hours, an hour, I think.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand. You can't wake up any earlier either.
Isn't it funny seeing a game from 1994 in fucking 8K resolution?
Yeah, I keep finding it funny when there's like games that are suddenly, what if we were like 8K, 500 FPS on a game?
It's like
that,
who even owns that sort of fucking display? I have 1080p and I'm gonna have this 1080p for another 10 years. I'm not gonna be.
Also, you have to interpolate so much if you go for like 60 FPS on a super old game.
I think this is a remake, so like making the old stuff new. There's no like upscaling or anything fancy going on.
Yeah. This is all, I'm just saying, like, it's fucking silly that they're doing 8Ks like some sort of.
Crossbows take 5 turns to reload. Jesus. Unless it is aimed at the head or heart, it inflicts bashing damage to the kindred. It inflicts lethal damage versus mortals, because normal people don't like getting shot with a fucking crossbow.
Sounds like a them problem. I can get shot with the crossbow perfectly fine.
Still,
Just
I always
skill.
keep. What's the deal with bashing versus lethal? What does it actually do?
It's a skill issue.
Because vampires, they take a lot of things of bashing. Bashing and lethal damage, blah, blah, blah. Bashing damage covers all forms of injury that are unlikely to kill innocently, blah, blah, blah. But bashing damage, punch to the gut has little effect on the undead. They soak with their stamina if your character's incapacitated. Okay, well, fun stuff. And heals faster. Not for vampires, though. It's all weird. I don't get this stuff. There's all the stuff that I don't quite get, but we'll skirt over it as we go along. Alright, we're now for 20 minutes just yammering around. How about we set the scene? I should get a catchphrase, like Angry Set. I need to create a prime for myself. Otherwise I always get hang up on things.
I say let's get writing on my streams.
Let's get to writing.
And then I don't.
Sharpibeto.
Sharpibeto.
She stands with a tiny katana and cuts open a can of Pharazine. God damn it. I'm not thinking of that Tumblr post. That's like weasels are extremely deadly at low levels in older versions of D&D because they would just attach to someone and drain their blood as they held on.
I still remember the first times we played 3.5, and we created the cat wizard, the cat witch, because like a level 1 cat can actually do appreciable damage. So she had a bag of infinite cats that she could throw at people.
I mean, they do non-lethal, so it takes a little bit of time to actually take care of someone, but still.
That's why she kept throwing more.
God damn it.
Also, I'm going to use a dice roller because I don't have my dice ready. They're somewhere in my backpack.
Don't forget to bring them when you leave the country.
I keep them with me. They're in a bag I know I'll never lose.
There's something weird about seeing all this natural terrain. And I zoom in, and the town is all squares. That's usually an indication that it's flat land with nothing going on. Here we go. A lot of you are in the dark. That's how your life has been for however long you've been undead. You're on a late train to Calgary. Not the most backwater place in Canada, but you're not in the hot zone. You're not in Winnipeg, Toronto. You're hella not close to Detroit or Montreal. You're not any place anyone cares about. Canada's one of those places where people know, like, I don't know, like a few. Those are the urban centers, and the rest is just never heard of it, never go there. It's all been flat land the whole ride, and you've been sent on a specific mission. Inside this train are a few people. Probably on a higher end section, like first class maybe. A few sleeping businessmen. Their old cups of coffee growing cold. Not that you would notice too much. As a vampire, a lot of your senses are dulled unless you're particularly full of blood and humanity. Humanity, of course, being that you stick to your ethos. And blood being more the vitae you can use to simulate being alive. It's also necessary every time you awaken. And while vampires may be creatures of the night, they actually experience sleep when it gets too late in the day. Some say it's because they're so deathly afraid of the sun that while the sun is out, they are simply coerced to sleep. But I think Como has the special ability that lets him just stay up the whole night anyway. Light sleeper, I think, lets him do that.
That's the light sleeper, I think.
Which is nice, because Como is the kind of he does strike me as the kind of person who has to do daytime activities. Although it's Brutus who has the lively appearance. Your train cascades down. While there have been significant upgrades to the train network, you're still dealing with American-Canadian train networks. They are nothing compared to what you would find in a good European city, or even in China in some places. A shame, because driving these long distances by car is asking for trouble. The Mounties just love harassing people this late at night. They got nothing better to
Something's
do.
never changed.
They got nothing better to do, and it's like out backwater. You're up to something, and it's always questions. The problem with this job is that you're not even at your destination when you arrive at Calgary. Your job is in Golden, which is like like about 100 miles further west. In the mountains, no less. It's one of those jobs, they say. One of those jobs. Look outside, all you can see is the occasional flit of a city. You can see the stars quite well if you push your face against the glass and zone out the lighting inside. Your seats are nice and comfortable, to as best as they are willing to afford. There's never, ever a lady who handles catering unless you specifically push the button for it. This is also one of those double deckers. There's like 2 floors. So, odds are, maybe she just takes the lower section. This is not one of those trains where you have like personal cabins. I know those exist. I want to go on one.
Those are expensive.
Yeah.
I've done a few train rides in different
I've seen a
continents,
guy
and
who did like a whole bunch of like travel on ferries and buses and stuff in Japan. I love those videos. They were so neat. Seeing like
actually, I'm planning on making videos like that when I get out there.
you should do it because man, there's just something so fascinating about that. Do remember that Japanese privacy laws are a bit picky. So
Well, it was going to be more than just Japan. It was going to be in general. Because I'm actually planning when I'm in Southeast Asia and East Asia to start doing the travel writing and travel videos. Just because I go everywhere.
here's a question for you: what have you been doing on the several multi-hour train ride? Liz,
Well, I assume we had something to read for a little bit of it.
the most important part that you've had your briefing already. I've written that one out. You also have with you the suitcase which contains the contents as well as a. So, old vampires get stuck on old habits. So while normal people would use their phone for video conferencing, this suitcase, this armored, like, you know those fancy metal cornered cases that they have on tours, music tours.
Yes.
That's basically what you have. It's a giant satellite phone. It also contains the thing you're supposed to be giving this guy. Like you've got some special blood garbage to give a vampire. Like, oh, here's a good deal, and he'll go, oh, like a gnome would. That's the idea, at least. Yes, exactly. It's the bribe because you need that blood root. Your boss wants that blood root, and he called in some favors with some important people, including Liz, who's famous enough that she could in fact be making like a whole video on how she's taking this train in the middle of nowhere, the middle of the night. Noct, you're not that kind of guy. You're reserved. You're quiet.
I know.
You started out as a 15th generation. What that so 13th is like the baseline for most player characters. 15th is like your blood is getting so thin that like most powers don't even work. You're barely a vampire. But you were smart. You were clever. You impressed people. You were quite a competent necromancer for how inferior your blood was. The Giovanni loved you. Your sire, Lord Heinrich, took particular interest in you, and you've been elevated to 9th generation. This gives you a far larger blood pool than most people, and also significant more. You can burst better. You can nova a little harder than most people can. You've earned your reputation. Liz, on the other hand, is more like a people person. Goodness, she's not the negotiating type. You wouldn't call her for it, but at some point, sometimes the best you got. She belongs to Ventru. She, the big capitalist bigwigs. They love the Camarilla. The whole Ivory Tower stuff perfectly aligns with their more business interests. Although Liz is more of the modern stuff. I imagine that often leads to conflicts with the older vampires, who again are like, what is this phone, this silicon block you carry around with you? Why does it yell at me? Oh. I love that because it does allow you to have delightful technological conversations in Vampire the Masquerade, no matter what era you set it in. It's like, yes, we have VR headsets, but our fucking boss is a vampire who doesn't know how any of that works, and he keeps yelling at us about it.
Like trying to explain how a phone works to a
The
grandma.
ultimate old man.
Can you imagine they sire an IT guy specifically just to have someone manage the electronics?
I want you to get me that man from Microsoft. You mean Steve Jobs? No, wait, he was
Maybe.
Apple, wasn't he?
Which one is Apple?
I could go for an Apple.
You mean Apple? No, I don't.
Wait, hold on. They would actually take Steve Jobs. That's probably why he disappeared off the face of the earth, because the whole symbology with the apple, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, that sort of shit.
I mean, Cain is the first vampire.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm alluding to. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why
Holy
all
shit,
vampires will be using apple.
this is the dumbest excuse I can have. I mean, the reason they would all use apples because Ventrue tends to. If you're in the Camarilla, you probably end up with Ventrue, and Ventrue are like the big business boys. So of course they're gonna have fucking apples. Oh, this is the worst time to be a vampire. Like everyone is just technologically advancing. It's like, oh, I'm so old. Everyone's going so fast. Back when I was alive, we didn't even have artificial fertilizer. He swings his cane. A lot of them actually go to sleep. You're on a train, right? Sorry. You have retainers on staff. I should probably explain to you what your things are.
Mm-hmm.
Your potence is a thing you add to, I think, strength. Basically, it's bonus strength points you get.
Mm-hmm.
So your strength in most situations is actually 6. This includes like brawling. You are very strong. You could probably let's see. I think 5 is like you can lift a few 100 pounds. So we can extrapolate from there. It comes at some cost. You can't do that forever, but like in a quick instance, like in a good fight, you can probably you're stronger than most people. Let's see. Strength. A 5 strength score is outstanding. You can lift 650 pounds, 300 kilograms, and can crush skulls like grapes. And you can, if you rouse your blood a little bit, you can just do that. You've paid your price. You're there. Necromancy is of course necromancy. In your specific case, making undead. An initial fascination, although the irony is that you are one yourself.
Yes.
Your character does not have much conscience or conviction. Well, look, not much conscience, aka you're not. Good and evil are smoothed over topics for you. Just don't worry about it. But you are very self-controlled, and you have a lot of courage in you. You're very. That's why people like you. You're like that cold assassin kind of guy who shows up to the job and just takes care of it. Business. It's all business to you.
It's nice. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
So generation is why you're 9th generation. You actually spent your background points on that. Your status is like within the vampire circles. You're actually quite known. They know you as like the vampire guy more than because Liz has points in fame, which is she's known among everyone, including humans. Your retainers, you have 2. These are your undead little minions. They usually hang out in the background, but if you ever need them, they're there. They can help you.
They're your boys.
They're
whatever they are.
The best way to put it is they are your stellar creations because they're semi-intelligent undead and they have yet to rot. So they're kind of like your doctorate among everyone. I should probably point out what your nature and demeanor are at the top. Nature is what you are inside. Demeanor is how you project outwards. And I know, Como, I know that you're an idealist kind of guy. You love to hang out with gods or like personal philosophies, but you always but you don't mind being a little creepy with people. So
A bon vivant.
you are a bon vivant, which means that outward you project this idea of being great and celebrating is more like just having fun, making everyone happy.
Yes. So I'm inside what I'm on the outside.
Pretty much. There's a lot of alignment there. I am going to tell you what fame level you're actually at. So, Como, your status is you're influential. Nice. But for fame, you can't beat Liz because Liz is a full-blown celebrity. Your name is often recognized by average people on the street. You probably have brand deals going on, which honestly makes this whole fact that you're in a nighttime train a little bit more bearable. You have an incredible appearance. Nosferatu would try to claw you to pieces if they ever had an excuse. They hate you for how pretty you are. You have access to sufficient resources. You have a contact, primarily your boss. You can squeeze him for resources for things. You have dominate and presence. Fortitude is the stamina. So you basically have effectively 4 stamina. Better yet, fortitude can be added even to like supernatural things that would otherwise just tear straight through your soak dice. So say silver weapon. No, I think silver weapons aren't a problem. But fire. You can still resist fire. Because you're just, got to keep that pretty face pretty somehow.
I do. It is very pretty.
As for your disciplines, I'll give you the quick short of it. Dominate. You can give people commands or you can mesmerize them. With your presence, however, you can inflict awe. You can basically distract a crowd. All very useful if you're a popular celebrity. Your special things are common sense. That basically allows you to ask me... The common sense is cute because they're like, this is a good thing for beginners because it lets you ask all kinds of questions. I just think it's funny that your character has common sense. And precocious
I'm
is
the only one.
Yeah. You're uppity, you have bad sight. You're wearing glasses most of the time. There's no arguing that. Okay, there's one more thing I want to get onto before we get too much further. You have weakness. This is like your clan thing. Your clan thing is that you have a specific taste. You love people who exercise or who train their brains. Blood from anyone else, you just kind of barf up. That's a Ventrue thing. They're uppity, they're big business boys. They have specific tastes. Komo's weakness is a little more annoying. Normally, when vampires bite people, they're all like, "Ooh, that's nice." With Como, it's like, "Oh dear God, someone's eating me,"
Yeah, it's painful.
Oh God, I don't have the anesthetic.
which is
It's
probably
not that. I just have an underbite and
they
it makes it
they still
painful.
forget it, but they're not as willing to cooperate.
You never got braces.
Yes, exactly. That's why I don't smile.
I mean, the funny part is there are like a bunch of weaknesses that specifically make your bite more troublesome to deal with. So, if you really want to, you can be a vampire to whom biting is the most annoying thing ever.
Yeah, that would be funny.
All right, kids. Any other questions about your sheets? Now that I've run you over a couple basic details.
It makes sense so far.
Any terms on your abilities or attributes that are like, what about that one? Just making sure. All right. Clap, clap. Let's go. As I mentioned, you're on the train. The train is nice and comfortably warm, but not that you would notice. You're mostly dying. You'll be in Calgary in a few 20 minutes. Won't be too much longer now. It's a quiet train. Como's retainers are probably somewhere in the back, being as inconspicuous as possible because undead and all have issues. You're
They're
going
all
to-
sitting in the back in hats with newspapers. One of them is holding a newspaper upside down.
But
They had to get the Argus in them.
they don't have an. They're holding it upside down in case you decide to sit on the ceiling. They're
Exactly.
being considerate, Como. As the train clatters along, the door leading into this section opens up. It's someone who should not be in first class. He,
Or
bare chest, leather jacket. He takes a sniff at the air and almost immediately sort of zones in on you two. Although, to be fair, you are like the few people around who aren't like behind a computer sipping coffee. You stand out in a special kind of way. But you get the feeling that he might know a little more about you. I actually don't know if vampires have specific abilities to sense werewolves, but I know the werewolves can sniff you out. He plops on over. These are comfortable first-class seating, so there's like a lot of space between the two. There's like a deployable table, all the fun tricks. He moves over to you and parks himself on the opposite benches, crossing his arms. He leaves the
That's
initiative to
Charlie.
you.
That's what I tell him. It's like, defensive, are you? I don't know. I just think that crossing arms is like a very defensive gesture. Somebody who's supposed to be
Since
very
you say
confident.
that, he takes his arms, he like does this wide gesture. This what you liking then, eh?
Caught me miring.
Like
Look, this meme is old enough for me to be able to use it.
oh god,
I'm only using outdated references.
this guy is noticeably muscular, which people that are up at night and unusually muscular and tend to single you out are usually the kind of people that again are werewolves. Their muscles tend to
That's
show
true.
because they're in tune with nature. Their physical bodies are strong, but they also have like there's a lot going on with them. Como can probably tell you all about it. Knock knows his occult knowledge, so
Yes.
together with
What would I be able to tell from that specifically? Is there anything specific I can identify about them?
anything you would like to know that you're thinking of
Well, first and foremost, what would be their weakness?
of werewolves?
Yes,
not
Aside from
killing us
silver.
fast enough.
That too.
So
I know how Vampire Masquerade werewolves work.
So to put it as blunt as possible.
Yeah.
So the funny part about werewolves is that they create something called delirium, whereas you are forced to abide by the masquerade. A werewolf causes insanity in people to an extent, where once they've seen a werewolf and they kind of fall away, like their brain tries to rationalize what they saw. It smooths it over. It's not perfect, but it smooths it over a bit. You still end up with those weird hunter vigil weirdos. They have like 5 forms. They could be human wolf, like proper wolf. Some werewolves are actually just wolves who became people. There's a lot going on, man. Jesus.
That's all the folklore.
So let's talk about how well they heal. If you don't hit them with fire, silver, or you claw or bite them with as a supernatural creature, they'll heal it in turns, in like seconds. You can blast them with a shotgun until they're like scraps on the ground. They just congeal back together very
From how
quickly.
Claire described it, they hate shotguns because a shotgun can kill a vampire, but it's gonna annoy them.
It,
Oh,
it could keep him down for a bit, but like he'll get up, and you don't have infinite ammo, so you got to figure out something fast.
Yeah, they'll heal from almost anything. So
To compensate, werewolves tend to fight supernatural things or other werewolves, and those will fuck them up just fine. Whereas you use your blood, they use something called spiritual energy, gnosis, whatever it's called. Werewolves are weird. What you can tell from you do know, however, that wolfsbane doesn't work, despite the common truths and everything. But the thing is, when dealing with a werewolf, there are two things to abide by. One, don't try to piss him off. You're an undead, yes, but your forte is with humans. Werewolves are very specifically killing machines. When vampires want to get rid of werewolves, they usually hire other werewolves, or they hire someone who knows what they're doing. So it's an excursion. It's a fun time. If you, gosh, oh god, yeah, that's gonna fuck a man up. Oof. I mean, I think you're actually stronger than a pretty decent werewolf, because of, no. Yeah, sixes, you can probably hold one off, but they'll claw through you in moments. So it's a change of pace. Point is, the fact that he's willing to stand here and negotiate with you in human form does indicate that he's probably scoping you out more than anything.
it does make sense. Well, we're scoping them out too.
You are actually going out of, like, backwater Canada is a lot of wildlands, a lot of spiritual hoo-ha. So, more turf for werewolves to hang out and have fun.
Well, no reason not to converse with them politely if they're going to be.
yeah, I mean, also since we know what he is, we don't want to cause issues.
He gestures a little bit and goes, don't mind me being a little too noisy, but what's it called? Business or pleasure?
Can't it be both?
It usually is with you bloodbiters. Sticking your teeth in people?
Only the right ones.
No, you can put it however you like. I've got a better question for you. Who are you in bed with?
Apparently, no one.
No, he's probably referring to like I really like this part of Ironclaw. It mentions that like the common greeting is who are you and who do you work for, because it doesn't matter who your family is, what matters is who your allegiances are to. And I love that.
Your religion, yeah. Well, they took that whole blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, and they ran with it. I love it.
So anyway, I think these the Camarilla, the Sabbat, the Anarchs, and the Independents, they are called sects. My brain always, because there's the clans, which are like the specific type of vampire, but the sects are more like social structures, comparatively.
I think so.
So he's basically asking you, what sect are you belonging to? You're Camarilla, by the way. There are also the Sabbath, who are literally trying to cause the end times. They're the naughty vampires, I think. I think they're the naughty boys. They're not nice people. Let's see. Opposite.
Trying to cause the end of the world is usually the bad guys.
I do appreciate that in good writing, the first paragraph tells you everything you need to know. Opposite of the Camarilla stand the sect of inhuman vampires known as the Sabbath. Sorry, I keep saying Sabbath. Most of the vampiric factions believe that the so-called Sword of Cain is a collection of mindless barbarians and ultraviolet fiends. Ultraviolent, not ultraviolet.
They're invisible to the naked eye.
The Anarchs are, the Camarilla really like the Masquerade. The Anarchs are like, no, get out of here.
I just discovered something.
Oh, I love this set. This just says it all. Ask 12 Anarchs, you get 13 different answers.
The name of the clan is pronounced Giovanni rather than Giovanni.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So, yes, he wants to know, who do you belong to? Because that says a lot more about what your business is than anything else.
True. Well, Camarilla in that particular case.
He lets out a small laugh, and his face just twists, almost as if you told him a good joke. Gotta say, you're a long way from any place the Camarillas got their boots on the ground.
Are we? From our knowledge.
The
Because he-
closest place you know the Camarilla has any presence is Edmonton, which is miles to the north.
Okay, but we're delivering something to a guy, so this means there is presence here, correct?
To an extent. The guy's technically independent, but the Camarilla want to make a business agreement.
Oh, okay, fair enough. In that case, yes, that's true. We are pretty far away.
Gotta say, kind of finger guns at you both. Never seen something so ugly and something so pretty sharing a booth.
Well, business makes strange bedfellows.
Gosh, I actually want to look this up. The Nosferatu. Oh, here we go. All Nosferatu have a score of 0. So, Como, you're not as ugly as a Nosferatu.
Well, yes, that's the idea. Like you said, I might be, but I can't beat them. Not that good.
I think there's something you can take if you really want to go there, though.
Like how there's a special thing you can take if you want to be uglier.
Look, I like doing this whole.
Oh yeah, Como, I should probably explain what Beacon of the Unholy means. Clergy,
Yeah, go ahead.
like people who have faith, can sense that you're evil. You detect as
Good.
evil.
You
they
have
should be.
evil, or they have detect evil.
Yeah, excuse me. When I go to the bathroom, I don't wash my hands because I'm evil.
God dang it, Flash.
Technically speaking, you can hold as many bacteria as any inanimate surface can. Although I imagine it's actually worse.
Well, yeah, probably because technically a rotting corpse, but at the same time, remember Pathfinder. If you're powered by undeath, literally no bacteria can live.
Don't
in
think
you.
too heavy on it though. Like two dots
No.
is considered average.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it comes to it, we can use the auto run.
So what do you say again? Business makes strange bedfellows?
Yep.
Yes.
I just gotta wonder. This train ain't going to. What was it again? Edmonton ain't going anywhere you guys are supposed to be. So what is your business? You plan to buy off some Anox or something? I assure you, whatever they told you, they don't own these streets.
Oh,
I mean,
just a delivery.
Were we instructed on specifically how secretive this deal is?
I mean, werewolves don't tend to do much. I mean, it's complicated,
they're good
but
obedient
like,
dog.
you've been told to worry more about the vampires than the wolves when it comes to the nature of this deal. Because, different people, different priorities.
Well, in that case, I wouldn't say that we're delivering something. I'd rather just say it's Camarillo wants to extend the deal with one of the independents. That's it. That's all they need to know.
True.
I can't fucking stand how much like goddamn furries a lot of the art in the werewolf book is. God
That's
damn
the
it.
If
idea.
you have werewolves, just start hiring furry artists. I mean, they'll be all over it.
Look at this
They'll have
silo
to
ass
censor the
motherfucker.
dicks.
Look at these
but...
silo ass
shit.
motherfuckers. God damn, there's so much good art in here. And the older
Wow,
books,
those really are.
the older books have the benefit of like having this gnarly art, and this stuff is like stuff you would make into a cute token.
That really does look like the character out of Shining Force.
Hell yeah.
Game we should play again.
Oh, all right, I get it. You're just some poor little saps who got sent on a suicidal delivery mission or whatever they send you people on nowadays. Dude, I don't see a lot of vampires. Do you even consider it a suicide mission, or is it like
They're already dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, just because we're dead doesn't mean we want to go dead again.
It's called Final Death.
Yes.
I just wanted to know, because, you're sitting here, you got two big grunts sitting in the back over there. Don't think I don't notice that part. He taps his forehead.
Very observant.
No. You must be new. You're such a new guy. Werewolves have a deep spiritual connection. that he can probably sense like the magical link between the two of you, between the three of you, technically.
Yes.
Now, and he holds his hands up and he looks down and very, very, like, open, dismissive. I do have to say, I'm a fan, Miss Liz.
Oh, you've seen my shows?
Oh, come on. If you're under 30 and you don't know who you are, I don't think you've lived yet.
She joins in that little chuckle.
Nah, then, of course. I just have to know one important thing. It's just the footnote of it. Are you doing a performance, or are you stopping in Calgary at all?
Oh, I was thinking of doing a little show. It's a good.
Yeah, that's
It's a
gonna.
growing. It's not the biggest city, but you know.
He starts to look a bit more stern as you say that. Because if you were just on through, I could just let you go, but this is not gonna cut, I'm afraid. Like I said, Calgary is contested turf, so you're gonna have to talk to good old mommy eldest about this. Especially if you're on business. It's only polite. Although, he holds up his hands again. It ain't like the Camarilla. You ain't gotta talk to the prince and his fancy boys and say, like, oh, I'm here for this and that and this and that. You just gotta take a look at you and make sure that you're alright. Now, since you're such a nice lady, you give me an autograph, I'll give you a little clue.
Oh, I don't do it for every fan, but I guess I can today.
He reaches into his pocket and he takes out a phone case. It's one of yours. And his phone is in it, and he like holds it out. Give it a mark.
That's cute, actually.
Okay, like he's a legit fan. This is actually nice.
This is nice. Yeah, can you imagine this guy's actually a super fan? He has a shrine of you and everything.
So you sign it for him, because you said you would. He gives you a little clue. So, I know that Calgary is all tough, you know? We got it under control. I wouldn't recommend going too much further west, though. There's a lot of vampires out in those mountains. The Anarchs, Independence. I heard there's some guy doing all kinds of fancy blood experiments out by, what's it called again? Lake something or another. Point
Is this in the direction that we're going?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the town Golden is in those mountains.
God, it's a Wendigo town.
I'm pretty sure you're going to be safe if you watch your back, but those mountains are full of all kinds of trouble. But hey, if you're having a show, expect to see me there. I'll trust that, and he gives another look at Noct, because he doesn't know you, and you are, like, more suspect looking. And you probably ooze this aura, given that you're a necromancer, and you've probably touched, like, a bajillion corpses.
I mean, I wash my hands.
You also have the Beacon of the Unholy, so you're pretty much like a trifecta of, like,
I thought you said you don't wash your hands. You lying to me?
After the toilet.
He washes his hands before the toilet.
Before the toilet. Yes.
That's chaotic evil for you.
No, the corpses are different. I touch the corpses. I do wash my hands. I don't want them
I like the idea of, like, you show up to the scene and there's a guy, like, washing your hands. You wash your hands and then you go into it and just like, what is he doing? He washed it before he went in. Yeah, he's just, it inflicts dementia in everyone who sees it.
It's a confusion effect.
Yes.
All right. Well, I shouldn't be keeping you guys too much longer now, should I? Just gonna give you do be careful about daytime and everything.
Oh, we try to be.
I mean, it is the spring months, so on the plus side, you ain't gonna be dealing with because actually, now that I think about it, this is actually further south than. Why is the Netherlands so much further north than I think it is? Every fucking time. Is this map even accurate?
Because latitudes are fucky. Can you show the map?
No, like on Google Maps, like it's north of Oregon. It's north of the fucking North American border with Canada. My brain hurts.
I live in a place where during summer solstice, the sun doesn't set for a couple of weeks, and on the winter solstice, it doesn't rise above the horizon for a couple of weeks. Probably a good place for vampires.
Yeah, that does tend to happen. The downside that no one ever talks about is that cold weather doesn't help vampires. Their bodies can freeze easy.
Yes.
So
that was actually a movie.
30 Days of Winter or something.
3 days a night. Yeah.
30
Nice.
Days of Night. Yeah. That
So
was pretty
anyway,
fun.
There's also
your complimentary fan is immediately when he breaks off. Well, although before he goes, he does like give Como this sort of this look of like don't do anything too fishy. Keep
I will
he
not.
gives me a nice
because
little wave on the way out.
not Como, don't do undead necromancy stuff in werewolf cities until you have permission. Vampires
I
will look the other way. Werewolves are a bit pickier about that.
will not. Yeah, I know. That's actually a good warning. At the very least, they've given us a warning. That's good.
He immediately takes out his phone, and you don't need you know that he's just calling his boss about this.
That makes
He's
sense.
also looking at the back of it. He's very happy.
because of the autograph.
He probably mentions it at some point if he ever calls his friend. Probably not his boss.
Can you imagine you kind of lean into the what was called the between the seats, into the aisle between the seats, and you can see him like with the fists up. It's like, yeah, I got it.
Got it.
You wouldn't believe who I just met.
No, even better. He
Exactly.
has the case off of his phone so he can take a picture of it.
Calgary. Actually, I have no idea where the train station in Calgary is. Let me look it up.
Could you also like take a screen cap? Of the map
Also,
real quick?
I just checked, Safi.
Hmm?
Amsterdam and Calgary are almost to the exact same.
Latitude.
Yeah. Amsterdam is 52 degrees and Calgary is 51 degrees.
Okay, what do you want me to take a screenshot of, Como?
Just a map, just a rough location for the theater of the mind.
I'll give you two.
Okey-doke.
Here, number uno, and then a little further zoomed in is like numero dos.
Still making me giggle every fucking time. Somebody made an edit over it that says Masquerade broken.
Yeah, Nosferatu shouldn't be going to stores.
And on. It wasn't in the actual Vampire the Masquerade game. Wasn't there like a Nosferatu that was some sort of like superstar or something?
Usually, Nosferatu like to target people that are pretty. Yes, as like revenge karma,
Yeah.
or just raw.
Oh yeah, I
frustration.
remember she was freaking out over it. Yeah, because she's ugly now.
They might take it out on you too. All right, your little choo-choo train pulls into the station. Calgary is a flat town. There's a few high rises in places, but it's remarkably open. A very sparse town. Means there's plenty of places to set up a shop and take care of your stuff. As you are successfully pulled into Westbrook Station, which I put the dude on the map for Street View for like an idea, and I'm like, holy crap, that is a flat ass station, because like here in the Netherlands, the main station I take, like most stations here, have elevation changes in order to accommodate foot traffic. What the hell's going on? Ooh,
They're also quite nice. I've been to a few.
you have been to a few. You are actually aware of what they look like. It's not as bad as with Russian like metros where you go 1,000 miles under the ground, but
Every
under 100.
the vast majority of Korean ones go underneath city blocks.
nice. It's a mixture here. In Rotterdam, there's like a metro that is on an elevated platform. In some places, it just goes under. The one I took to work, it like started at Rotterdam Central and then bloop, went out. It's so weird. Neat city though, very interesting. I'm terrified of what American cities are like. God damn.
American cities, have fun finding a train station.
The thing I mean is that Rotterdam is apparently one of the more like Americanized cities in terms of like certain areas have more car access. The areas I was in were like more Americanized in that sense. Ugh, terrifying.
I mean, a bit. Not. It's more that it just has wider roads, but even parts of America have really narrow roads.
Terrified. I'm terrified. I'm already
Like,
pooping myself at the thought. All right.
Look at the roads for Portland, Oregon, and they're rather thin.
All right. You're in Calgary. You have a couple hours until sunrise to kill. There's a chance there's some werewolves looking for you, and you should probably take care of your blood situation at some point. I mean, you can probably tough it out for a few days if you want to. But you need 1 point to rise out of your undead sleep every day.
As well, we don't know how long it will take us, so it would be better to go in prepared.
Well, I think it'd be good to go and try to find the people in charge, though. Just
before we do anything, though. Yes.
yeah, just to do our paperwork, you know.
Your best
Yeah,
thing might be
fair
to
enough.
wait here for a moment because they're probably expecting you. So you
Yeah,
hang
I
out for a
would.
bit.
Yeah, I think it'd just be the smart option to not look like we're trying to avoid them, you know.
You browse a few of the stores, and eventually some polite-looking individuals like scoot up to you. They've introduced themselves, and they seem to be the more cordial individuals, which makes sense. Odds are he told your Camarilla, so they sent their nicest dressed individuals.
But I have a quick Vampire the Masquerade question.
What is it?
How does taking a picture of a vampire work in this setting?
It works fine. There's a specific thing you can take that gives you no reflection, but otherwise vampires show up just fine.
Okay, good. I'm taking a selfie when they get there. I have a social media presence.
So
I mean,
I
that's
imagine
true.
that the composition of this group is there's one guy who is like the straight businessman who's like, I might be a werewolf and there might be an endless rage boiling inside of me, but I'm going to talk to people in a polite manner because I know that this is a sensitive situation. And the other one is like, oh man, I managed to sneak my way into this one.
I got here.
I'm gonna get an autograph too.
I heard the other guy got one.
You better give one to me, or I'm gonna tell all my buds that you're not cool anymore.
Yeah, to give an inch, they'll take a mile.
Ugh.
Make sure your hand doesn't fall off signing all those autographs.
I'm actually looking for the one that's like no reflection because it's kind of a neat one. Where is it? It's probably on the magical because it's funny. Oh, here you go. Cast no reflection. You cast no reflection just like the vampires of legend.
Do the clothes still
Ooh.
cast reflection, or is it just-
Vampires of Clan La Sombra automatically have this flaw. And you may be mistaken for one of them if you have it. There's some really fun ones, by the way. Repulsed by Garlic is one. But then there's Touch of Frost, which allows you to wither plants by touching them. There's Cold Breeze. A chill wind follows you wherever you go. Perfect for dramatic entrances, but makes mortals uncomfortable.
Yes.
Oh, there's some really good ones here. Como, you have this one. You radiate palpable evil. Clergy and the devout mortals know instinctively there's something horribly wrong with you.
I paused by the local church. The cross is just like scrunches up.
I should give you the PDF and just let you look at them because some of them are cool. So one, like that
Please
side,
do.
everything appears rotted and decay to you.
I'd love to see. Oh, I saw there was a graphic novel like that where a guy goes into like car crash or something, and then everything
Sayonara.
looks. Yeah, everything looks like.
It was absolutely terrible.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
It's in a visual novel from Japan
Mm-hmm.
where basically what Como was saying, guy gets into a car crash, comes out of it, and the whole world is like rotting eldritch horror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he meets a girl who isn't.
Run away
To
from that
everyone,
girl.
everything around them looks fine. To him, he perceives his old friends, his family, everything as gross.
Terrifying monsters.
What's
And
up
then
with
And
the
there's
the
this
whole
girl?
one
world is
chick,
like pulsating meat and death.
What's up with the girl?
and the girl
We
is
never see what she actually is,
Cool.
but she's definitely something.
Someone's honking.
And she's super evil, but because he's in such a bad place mentally because of all this, he basically latches onto her and becomes evil himself.
True faith is a thing you can take, by the way. Ooh, requirements are steep. I'm curious. What is true faith mechanically? It's a rare thing, I've been told. Holy shit! If you have 5 points, you can fill a vampire with self-loathing, disgust, terror, and even physical pain.
It's funny.
It's hard to get though.
You know, it's kind of like for a normal person, you tell them like you blink now manually. You tell that to a vampire, and they perceive them being gross undead corpse.
I mean, the funny thing, you mentioned this, but vampires do actively have to like breathe and blink because their body don't need it and don't do it automatically anymore.
Yes.
That part of your brain is gone.
If they're ever
Well, your
mortal.
need for it's gone.
A lot of neophytes are a very common thing. Neonates, I think, is that they tend to do it and they tend to catch themselves and they're often very confused. It's very cute. You've probably seen that a few times by now. It's adorable. You wait around. 2 people approach you. One of them is obviously a fan. They even brought the shirt from your last tour.
Can you imagine he's wearing a suit, but under the suit instead of a dress shirt, it's the t-shirt.
The hanger-on is wearing a leather jacket. She's clearly in like the same tune as the other guy is. Not uncommon. Werewolves tend to like more natural clothing. You're not going to see them in latex. Let's put it like that. If they do, you're dealing with one hell of a guy.
Yeah, it must be
Dealing
very
with the good
kinky.
kind.
I mean, they probably do, because the stuff sticks around for a while, but they got problems with the company. They don't like... One of their big enemies is an industrialist, so... Anyway, the other person you're dealing with, again, is a bit more properly dressed. They are dressed plainly. Jeans jacket, jeans, and just a shirt. Nothing special about him. Has the flattest expression you can manage. He takes a look at you, Como, and he knows who you are. Because he immediately takes a minute as he looks at you, and his brows go up. And then you can almost feel the migraine that begins to form in his head as he realizes what you are.
Necromancer.
Probably. I imagine the undead aura was one thing, but don't forget that during this time, your two retainers are still like satelliting around you.
I mean, yeah.
There's two zombies just walking around. Okay, let me just...
Now, quick question though. How much control do I have to exert over them? Is this like, oh shit, your hat is all fell off or something, or are they like...
They are people, but they are entirely at your beck and call.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, retainers are pretty higher up there in terms of, like, immediate utility. But they tend not to have their own thing. The allies and contacts have more reach, but retainers are more usable.
Okay, fair enough. So,
all right,
tools then.
Let's get down to business. So, we got Liz Conroy, and if I'm not correct, we're dealing with one of the fine Giovanni clan.
Giovanni.
Oh, Giovanni.
I will pronounce it correctly.
You can pronounce anything correctly.
You're very far from any Italy lands, boy.
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna ask this exactly once. You're gonna come with me and talk to the big lady. And additionally, he kind of gestures at you. Did you really just bring a suitcase, or is there like a bunch more around the corner?
Just a suitcase.
I have another bag around the corner.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I can have my goons carry one.
Must be nice not having the shave. All right, let's go.
I'm sorry, that's just funny. I mean, it probably stinks like a wet dog after a shower too.
A common thing that werewolves have is that they do get more body hair.
Yeah.
Like female dwarves. Big beards.
Imagine this: if you start as a person from Northern Caucasus, what happens then? You turn into a bear.
He takes you over to
a cousin.
He takes you over to a bus, and there's no expenses spared as you take your little trip. There's 6 of you now. You're starting to become a bit of a noticeable group. Eventually, you stop right outside of a small nature park. He takes you along to what appears to be like a interesting choice. It's a country club building. Not very werewolfish. Don't they usually go for cabins and the like? Maybe it's a new style you haven't heard of yet.
A new fashion trend.
That being said, taking a look around, this country club is... I mean, it's late. There's probably no one who even wants to go golfing at this hour. The country club does ooze this aura of things are going on. It's a fancy building. Modern, wooden exterior would get blown apart in a single tornado. Not sturdy European construction, very much Americanized structure building. Good insulation, air conditioning. You walk up, you see all the dudes who are hanging out. They seem to be having a jolly time, but not in the... Ventru knows what a country club should look like. This ain't that. They might have taken it for themselves. Who knows what the history is? All right. The first thing I'm going to need from you is a check, because there's a problem. A few werewolves you can manage. You've dealt with that.
Yes. Werewolves
have really good blood. Ooh, they got the good stuff. If you've ever bitten one, it's intoxicating. Because werewolves, again, are filled with rage and fury and this natural, potent, this spiritual essence. It's like, ooh. You can't get better unless you drink from the Pope himself. A young Pope, preferably.
Has anyone tried to?
Oh, God.
Probably.
You know what?
They probably exploded.
You know what? You can roll me intelligence academics.
Okay, so since I have the 5 in there
and the 1, roll me 6 d10 in total. We'll say it's like difficulty 8. So if you get an 8 or higher, I'll give you an answer.
One moment, let me open up my little roller. Pin. This roller. There we go. 6d10. Okay. 6d10s. 43, 7, 8, 7, 4, 10, 7.
So? How many are above 8, and how many are 10s?
Hold on, let me just. There, it's in the chat.
Let's take it.
Oh yeah, by the way,
okay, that's
I
2
like to go through
successes.
it.
Cool. 2 successes. I'll say that's enough. There have definitely been vampires that have tried to bite the Pope, and plenty of rumors about like people that have succeeded. Here's the problem, though. The Pope is surrounded by people who will probably figure out you're a vampire before you get there. You
Yes.
know of the one guy who managed to do it to the best of you know. You know one story that succeeded, and when he got back, he killed himself
was
by standing in
Catholic.
the sun. You're not sure why he
Wow.
did that. He never explained to anyone what happened. The common theory is that he tasted such pure faith that he was ashamed of the vampire was. Others say that the Pope was so emotionally, depressingly disappointing that he just realized, if he can't be this good, why would I ever bother?
That's amazing.
You personally, the common theory among the smart people, however, is that the whole experience of getting to the Pope and everything kind of made him self-reflect a little too much. And he just did it by accident in an emotional fit, which is rare, but can happen.
I mean, maybe it's designed in such a way as to emotionally.
Point is, you're dealing with these fine fellows, and they
Right,
take you over to a country club, and I'm going to need out of you some self-control rolls.
Yes. How would we do that?
Wait, but they aren't super smart or anything.
Hmm?
I have specific tastes.
That doesn't stop you
Maybe.
from. I mean, to be fair,
One
most
thing.
werewolves probably meet your training criteria, because they're big buff boys. They have exercise, even if it's just
So-
magical.
What's self-control?
I think that's a specific thing you have, but I don't actually know much about the willpower rolls themselves.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Oh no, it's
Self-control
willpower.
instinct.
It's willpower that you have to roll. You can also just spend willpower to succeed automatically, if I recall correctly.
So
Can it be
how-
used after you fail? Or do you
Let's-
have to announce before
I'm
you
actually
roll?
taking a look, because again, I'm not too familiar with this. Will replenish fully at the end of a given story. Yeah, that's cute. Willpower may be spent to prevent derangement from manifesting. What? You can ignore wound penalties. You can get an automatic benefit. Okay, cool. What were you saying, Kama?
I'm saying, can willpower be spent after you roll? Or do you have to
have
announce
to
it before?
spend it before, I think. But I do think that you can automatically expend a will point to always like suppress urges, derangements, basically.
So
That makes
what do I
sense.
have to roll?
That's however many dots of willpower you have.
5.
Go ahead and give it a go. Your difficulty is probably like 7. It's
7.
not easy, but it's not the hardest thing.
So it's 5d10.
Yup. Roll a 7 or higher, and you're fine.
Roll the 110. And one more. Oh, screen.
Tell me how many 7s and above you got. And don't forget, if you get 2 10s, that counts as 3 successes instead.
I got 10, 8, 1, 7, 7.
Okay, so
I-
you keep a flat face. You know how to keep it down, smooth. You, on the other hand, knocked. I don't know if you've ever eaten a werewolf, taken a bite out of one, and taken a drink. I'll leave that up to you. Have you?
Let's say no. This is new.
In that
Like I
case,
said,
you
like you
part of you
told me earlier. Yeah, go ahead.
you have a lot of self-control. I imagine you can actually add that to this, but it's enough for now. There's a part of you that very briefly wonders, werewolves are such brutal beings. Would they mind the fact that your bite is so agonizing? Or would one of them just be into it? It's a thought that
See,
briefly-
that's the one in the latex.
That's what I'm saying, boy.
You always know the one.
You
You always know
know
the one.
I should probably explain like how blood draining works. You can drain about 20% of someone's blood points before they go down. That's not like people are going to be like, but humans don't have that much blood. Blah 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 blah. That's not how that works. That's not
Have a
what your blood.
spleen.
That's not. No, it's more like blood points is how much vitae, how much life force is in your blood. 0 blood doesn't mean you're literally sucked dry. Although most vampires finish it off at that point anyway. A werewolf has 20. The average human or vampire has 10. So yeah, big juice. And that's like a normal werewolf. You can take 20%, so that's for normal people. That's 2 points. Werewolves, you can take like 4 without any risk. So they're a good meal. They're good friends.
Look, dogs are man's friend.
If you ever want to drink from a cow. By the way, that's considered a bit of a like a ooh, oh you're vegan basically in the vampire world if you don't drink from people.
Oh shit! I wanna hold on. There was a very weird cartoon, not cartoon, like movie series over here that was dealing with quote unquote vampires, and there's there is a juice box over here, the specific type of it that is called Dobry, which means kind. For that specific movie, they had the vampire drink from a box.
Of kind.
It says evil instead, rather than kind.
It's so dumb.
I know, it's so silly.
What movie is it?
Ночной дозор. Night Watch.
I fucking knew it. I've seen that movie.
Yeah, there you go.
I hated that movie.
You know,
I barely
it's
knew
dumb.
what was going on.
It's yeah, because a lot of the stuff is lost in translation. But it is amusing.
Well, and
Been
it's
kind
also
of a cult
it
hit
just
now.
didn't have all the stuff from the book, apparently.
Yeah, that too.
By the way, you can take more, but like at half hospitalization is necessary, so it is generally impossible to take more than 3 blood points from a vessel in 3 seconds. The shortest a turn gets. Oh, the game is flexible turns. Nice. I love those. I love that Iron Claw's like, turns are 6 seconds, but it doesn't fucking matter. They're around that. All right. You have this twitch and this thought, but you keep control. You're able to straighten yourself out a bit. How does Noct dress? I can imagine what Liz looks like. In various stylings, but what does Noct dress like, considering your occupation and your background?
Every time the camera cuts back to me, I'm in a different outfit.
I'm in a different outfit. No, never a dress. Nobody ever points it out. It's just a thing. Every time you pan the camera away from the outfit, just changes.
So
I would imagine some sort of tailored suit. That makes sense. I assume similar style of dressing to my goons as well.
Yeah. By the
1920s
way, it's entirely
mafia.
just for Liz. You definitely own a suit. You probably don't like wearing it considering what your occupation is, but older Ventrue vampires, again, traditionalists, they want you to wear a suit.
Bitches.
So you have a very meticulously made suit specifically for those situations. Your undead have to stay outside, Como. They're like literally put in like a little box in a bike shed, effectively.
I mean, a little insulting, but makes sense.
It's some other people do that too. You're with people who
If
know what this is.
if it's a common practice, then no problem with it at all. If it's just something specifically put up for us,
park your
then
pets outside, please. We have enough dogs already.
Yes.
A few of the werewolves, by the way, do like perk up at you. As mentioned, werewolves are very rage-filled beings, so some of them do get a bit jumpy at the presence of you. Most of their friends know like you're with an escort, so they'll keep them back. You're shown upstairs, and then you reach this fine but empty room. A little click, and the large central fireplace in this sort of sauna-like chamber opens up to a staircase going down. The fan that's with you is still like, I was like, you see that? Ooh, we took this place from a Ventrue. Did you know? Can you imagine they spent all their money on this garbage?
That would explain the tacky style.
We're trying our best, but like it's a big building, and it's hard to come by large quantities of paint. Besides, when this hole opens, like a waft of incense comes out.
Is it nice?
I mean, if you have enough humanity, you could probably appreciate it, which both of you, I think, do. It's a very interesting incense. It's nice, but it makes you feel lighter, in a spiritual sort of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like your physical form is lessened. Once you are guided inside, you are confronted with something that will drive humans to delirium. It is a wolf in partial human form.
Ooh.
One of them is old. You can tell she's old because of all the gray hairs, the immaculate set of braids that come from her, each decorated with many beads and strings that tie together. She is large. She also constantly has her eyes closed, even as her nose twitches as you're present. Her gold and silver coat twitches too. You are in an underground cavity. You can tell by the again, you're vampires, you know what it's like. They scooped out areas to hold coffins. But they also removed all the presumably tiling that would have been down here, because it looks a bit barren for eventual lair. Cool place to sleep out, though. You can go to bed in your own country club, wake up in the same place. As her nose twitches, you notice that there are a few other wolves in the room. They are wolf, like feral, 4 legs.
Doggo.
They are all at attention, in the usual sense that bodyguards would be. You know, like, we'll jump you. Don't try anything funny.
I mean, I have 2 goons like that.
Children of the Ivory Tower.
What is that a reference to, like a specific thing?
The Camarilla tend to refer to their big fancy buildings where they hold their Elysium as the Ivory Tower.
Oh, makes sense. In that case, it's not like an insult or anything.
It's more like, you know, children of the Anarchs. Like, this is who you align with.
Makes sense. What would be the appropriate, like, cordial response to this?
You're not sure. Werewolf culture tends to differ a lot.
Well,
Using your normal manner should be enough.
In that case, yeah, I will. I hope we both will.
I am Elder Maya. I wish to know what brings you so far. This is a place of honesty and openness. If you wish to lie, leave.
I'm probably gonna step up, being a bit more of the people person.
Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna
people person
respectfully say that we're just coming through for a simple job that we were sent to do with one of the independents.
Your spirit is strange. Despite the fact that her eyes are constantly closed, she does, like, move her eyebrows.
Oh, blind people move their eyes a lot.
Yeah, true. You have this sense of others projecting onto you. And the Fangle in the background is immediately like, not me.
But does this mean that our boss is essentially, like, spying on us?
No. She means it in the sense of, like, it's a world of magic and garbage, so I imagine that if, like, lots of fans adore you, they create this sort of parasocial, paramagical bond with you that someone with enough power could see. It's a very faint bond, but, like, this lady looks like the kind of person who would be able to smell that. Not to mention, she's, like, super famous. It's hundreds of thousands of bonds, probably.
Some of them in this room.
Yeah, so it's probably super obvious. Besides true faith, you can also be a true fan.
I made 3 more of those bonds on the way here by posting my selfies.
Hold up one of your CDs. The power of Liz compels. My sick mix track will get you.
I mean,
yo, my mixtape is fire.
Oh no, aggravated damage.
I multi-classed into a bard in a different game.
God damn it. All right. And then the lady in the back said, yeah, because, you know, she's... What is your stage name, Liz Kilroy? Give us something fire.
Crap, I don't even know what genre I'm in.
And your surname is already, like, Kilroy. That's kind of badass.
Actually, apparently Kilroy refers to in service of. So kill is in service of, or Gil.
Wait, so it's basically my stage name is Bottom Bitch.
I think Ironclaw taught me that, but it might be wrong. I don't know.
Well, Ironclaw is way more rooted in the actual historical stuff. So
Ironclaw had Asian advisors when they made the Asian book, and it has like,
awesome.
And it actually has like the physical punishments that make sense for the era.
That's amazing.
I gotta say, it does actually feel like proper Asian instead of the Orientalist, like ooh stuff.
I mean, at least it's not Yellow Peril, you know.
Ugh. I mean, it focuses specifically on China, which is like, hey, if you focus on one country, less chance of being an Orientalist about it.
I want you to take a look at For Honor later and see if it's like checks out. Or
So Zal, I got a
it's
good
not.
stage name you can give me yet?
I have no idea.
All right. I'll just say Electric Liz, because
Let's sure go with that.
That works.
she's Electric Liz. She's got fans all around the world.
Mhm.
So this is Liz that you always talk about. My.
It's cute.
The spirit is rather clean. Liz, how would you describe your emotional state right now? And are you
Well,
trying to obfuscate it?
I mean, I'm probably just trying to stay calm as much as possible.
She's,
Probably a little bit nervous. I'm not much of a fighter.
I want to know if you're like trying to avoid her reading you, as it were.
Ella, there's a bit of like a fan feedback on your mic.
Yeah, that's the air conditioning.
It's fine,
Oh, okay.
Zyla, I'll live. But I want to know, are you trying to obfuscate anything here, or are you letting them read you as they wish?
Probably trying not to hide it because this is a whole honesty thing. Don't want to cause issues.
She continues her slow breathing. You might be undead, but like the incense is starting to get a bit hotboxy.
Can I just stop breathing?
Yeah, you can definitely just stop breathing, which probably most people in the room will find a little awkward, but hey, go ahead.
I'm holding my breath forever.
I would like to point out there's enough smoke in the room that people can tell that it stopped going up your nose.
For me, probably being completely open is amusing because people would get scared if they look.
Knocked. She does indeed finish up with, yes, she is quite something. But I think the elephant in the room is the shadow that looms larger than the moon.
Oh, that spoke to even me.
Who are you, O beckoner of the dead? What gives you the right?
I seized the right.
The old human adage, if I know, if I can, then I may.
I will nod. Well, I mean, actually, that would be silly. I guess I'm gonna nod and I'm gonna say yes to enunciate it because they wouldn't see it.
You even have the guts to bring undead into our domain.
The guy's probably staying outside with bags.
Well, yeah, but it's still like their turf.
Oh, in that sense,
in
yes.
the greater sense.
We
Sure.
need our porters.
They're helpers. They're housebroken and well behaved.
You may
No,
not.
that would be racist, wouldn't it? With the werewolves.
God damn it!
Or would it actually make sense?
This is why werewolves and vampires never get.
This is why it's like, well, no, I'm not gonna start an international accent. I'm
It's
gonna
all-
say
it's all-
they're they're well behaved.
And you thought human racism was bad.
Yes.
Oh. Just rub them behind the ears and it's fine.
Yes.
I see your shadow casts larger. A black spot. I could sense you up above, darkening my sight.
Reputation precedes me, otherwise I'd be late to all appointments.
Your reputation does precede you, Noct. Your name echoes in the mouths of many spirits who fear your works, fear that they will be next. Her eyes go up, almost as if she is impressed, which is something, considering spirits fear very few things, mostly. What is in your case? Tell me.
Communication device. That's not a lie. It's a phone, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Do you intend to go?
Do we have like a specific address?
Golden. You have Golden. The town's
Town of
good enough.
Golden.
In that case, Golden.
That will be dangerous. I would not recommend it.
The task is of importance to the Camarilla. That
I
is
am not
why
saying
we're
that
doing
I
it.
intend to stop you. I am warning you of the danger.
Forewarning. Oh, okay. Well, anything you can tell us would be helpful.
Because we would like to avoid danger.
I would like to avoid making a mess in your territory first.
Up until recently, we have had good dealings with the Anarchs of the West. But but something has shattered and broken them. They are falling apart, and what remains are shards of glass, flickering, drawing near predators and hunters and scavengers. Our clans have not been there for long. There are only the Wendigo. So, the Wendigo are, and Como, you know this because you know enough about occult. You know pretty much everything. You know at the very least the following. The Sabbat, what the Sabbat are to you, the Wendigo are to the wolves. They're the traitors. If I recall correctly. I haven't read the book in a bit, but we'll go with it for now. Oh, here we go. I love that I love this, by the way. Every one of these factions has like a little section extra. What do the other factions think? What do the Sabbath think of the Camarilla? It's like, oh, the world is spun ever closer to Ganea, which I think is when the antediluvians rise and they eat all the other vampires. And these so-called kinders are woefully unprepared for the final nights. They will be torn apart, and the whole time bleeding their delusions of superiority. And then they do it too in this book. For example, the children of Gaia about the Wendigo are like, too little, too late. That says a lot. Ugh. I know there's bad guy werewolves, but I forgot what they are. There are the traitors who joined up with the worm. It might be these, actually. Here we go. Besieged by the worms and betrayed by their fellow tribes, the Wendigo have learned much about hatred over the centuries. Nice. But yes, she mentions that the Wendigo apparently over there. And then, of course, there are the Tremere, unrestrained by even the masquerade. In case you wonder, the Tremere are the blood sorcerers. They're one of the big boy clans that everyone loves to talk about. Personally, I would recommend that you abandon your foolish quest. But if you insist, take this warning well, and prepare thyself.
Well, we'll have to do our best, because I'm not sure how well the Camarilla would accept us turning back.
Such is the burden of the ivory tower. Under its light all is clean and clear, but it also burns. I can offer assistance. We are not unfamiliar with the ways of things, yet we owe you nothing, and I would much rather you simply abandon your ways than stir the hornet's nest. But again, do as you please. There are many ways to get to Golden, although you may find that the trains no longer drive, nor does the plane land at its airport. The Wendigo are hunting. Of course, there's nothing saying you can't just slip in and out like a shadow. Is that not your nature, vampire? Child of Cain. The longer you are in her presence, the more a strange warmth fills you.
Is it because of the incense?
No.
We haven't been breathing that stuff like 5 minutes now.
It's more that she might be old and like wearing down, but she has an immense spiritual essence that anchors you in a way that your body cannot. You feel more human around her.
No, so we probably shouldn't spend too much time around her because
no, it's not harmful. It's vampires don't die from gaining too much humanity.
So hanging out with a puppy makes me more human. That's funny.
I mean, it's probably that she's poking at your mind and everything that's causing this, if anything.
That's true.
Poking your brain, taking a look. What's all this then? She has said her things. If you wish to ask questions of your own or do anything, go ahead. But she has staked her claim, as it were.
Let me get a little bit. I was going to do a small show. They said I should probably ask.
I'm actually looking up your humanity ratings. Como Noct has 6. People die, stuff breaks. A vampire. Let's see. Your moral act, accidental violation. Drinking a vessel dry out of starvation. 7 is theft. 8 is injury to another. 9 is minor selfish acts. And 10 is selfish thoughts. But that one is called saintly, so
Silly.
I'm 7.
most people have an average of 9. Nice.
And a
7
6.
is the average. Right?
I'm average.
You're fine. So what were you asking? You were asking about the show.
Yes, because it said I should ask.
You are free to put on whatever show you like, but remember, drawing the lights upon yourself comes with as many costs as benefits. Do things with intent and purpose.
I'll remember that. This means I won't get hurt. Good.
Noct, you can't help but get the feeling that she, despite her closed eyes, has been just leering at you this whole time.
Yeah, I'm kind of a looker in that sense. It's weird.
Surprisingly, the older, wiser werewolves tend to be very understanding of Nosferatu. It's a funny detail. You know, because it's
I'm
like...
not a Nosferatu.
Yeah, but you're still pretty ugly.
I mean, yeah, I get that a lot.
She does give you one thing in case you were worried about it. I will grant you the rights to, as best you can, unimpededly feed or whatever you require to do to maintain yourself, as long as you are able to keep it contained and moderate.
About to ask, actually.
On the down low.
Yeah.
I assume that is the normal way of the children of the Ivory Tower. You've always struck me as the more subtle type than the Anarchs.
Oh, it's not good business for them to notice.
Her eyes tense for a moment, then she relaxes. I will say that you have piqued my curiosity significantly. Camarilla business out in the middle of nowhere. With whom and why? And what is the risk for? You are relieved, although I will humor your presence for as long as you see fit to ask.
Well, I mean... Oh, by the way, did you give the autograph to the second guy that was going on? Or was it lady? Should probably do that. Well, in that case,
Well, we should probably take our leave.
yeah, I can't really think of any more questions I would like to ask because I don't have, like, any concrete things without asking straight up, oh shit, where have you seen these guys last and such? But yeah, we should probably head out. They did mention that the trains don't go anywhere.
Apparently,
Yeah,
neither train nor plane goes over to Golden at the moment because of the Wendigo doing some business.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully the guy we're looking for is not going to get killed.
All right. So, do you have any plans for the evening, or are we going to go to the next night?
Well, I'm gonna go try to find someone worth having a drink from.
Oh, to you, it's
What
no
you
bother.
What I would suggest, and what would solve the problem for both of us, is to do like a book signing or something of the sort.
You can't really organize that in an evening like this.
Yeah, you gotta.
Oh, right, because it's the middle of
stall.
that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, in that
You
case,
say
like I
that,
said,
and she's just sitting there listing off problems and setting those up quickly.
But yes,
one of my goons is carrying a cardboard cutout.
you're in a
of
decent
Liz
urban
Electric.
area. Odds are that good old Noct can corner someone and take a big nibble. It'll be fine in the morning. A little shaken, maybe. Where in the meantime, Liz can easily charm her way into anyone's pockets. Although, it takes a lot of humanity to enjoy the actual carnal act that most humans like to participate in, so... I do appreciate... I think it's the 5e book that has, like, things you can take to fake it. or something, or like descriptions on how much you need to make it work. It's hilarious. It makes me giggle that someone had to write that shit out.
You need some Viagra or a strap-on, I guess.
Oh,
wait, wouldn't it even work if there's no blood flow, technically?
I mean, you have the blood of other people in you.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. You can give yourself 2 blood points and mark one off immediately because you need one to rise every morning.
So I'm just gonna click one.
I assume you managed to find a nice, comfortable hotel to take care of. If you're in a big city, it's easy to manage that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Please, I just tell them I have a show coming out. I might even get an upgrade.
Probably
Quick question.
make a little call with your boss.
Good question. Do my goons suffer from the sunlight?
Probably not. It's vampires pretty specifically. Like
Makes
zombies can
sense,
stay out
yeah.
in the sun.
I'll go fetch a newspaper if I have to.
Uh,
This will be on.
the evening newspaper brought to you by your faithful dogs.
Yeah.
All right. You soon read the newspaper, and you know what? How about you roll me some wits alertness?
Let's see, alertness 1. And
In case you're wondering, awareness is supernatural stuff, alertness is physical stuff. It's surprising they split it up like that.
It's amusing. I'm actually more alert to the supernatural stuff.
Well, obviously, Mr. Ghost.
I don't know why that would be weird.
No, I'm not saying it's weird. It's just kind of amusing. But yes, that's exactly how it should work.
So please roll it for me.
Yes, 1 second.
Difficulty 6. So 6s and up are successes.
1 second. Accidentally closed the roller. Where is it? So I have 4 plus 1, so it's going to be 5d. And there you go. I got 2 1s. That's terrible. Here are my.
Let's have a look. 2 successes. Let me actually look up the success scale, because I need to familiarize myself with it.
Yeah, but 1s are failures, correct?
1s cancel out, yes. I forgot that part. Whoops. Oh well. You spend your time glancing over the newspaper. One thing does strike your eye. Obviously, with everything that's been talked about, there does appear to be a big mention of like a lot of missing people in the area lately. You can tell that the writer is trying desperately to restrain themselves from calling it like the latest massacre that shocks the nation for those good old BuzzFeed points.
They keep trying.
But it's not quite proven that any of these people have died or aren't just lost or, just vanish off the grid. So it's like, we can't say it yet.
I mean, they can.
Tongues are bitten more than vampires.
Vampires aren't bitten only once.
Liz, what are you doing as Noct is deciding to engorge himself upon the news? By the way, you wake up when the sun is like under the horizon. It's safe and it's still somewhat light outside. And in case you're wondering, vampires do not get dark vision.
Do you have to? Is that like a thing you can take?
Yeah.
Huh.
Fuck you, that's why. Apparently.
Yeah, vampires sure don't get that much.
Yeah, it's surprising how little you get. I mean, you do get the power to survive bullet wounds and the ability to supernaturally charm people. So, all right,
okay, one of those shouldn't be a problem that often.
I presume you're probably taking care of like some basic stuff with your boss.
Yep, and checking Twitter.
Oh gosh. Well,
I'm a modern, famous person. I have a Twitter.
I know. But is there anything you specifically hope to get out of Twitter? Or shall
I was going to check. I was going to look more into those, see if there's anything about the missing people around here, because that would probably be trending in the local area.
Well, since you're planning to put on a show, I imagine you'd probably describe it as like, hey, I'm in the area. Heard about these cool rumors. Anyone got any deets? Okay, the problem is you're pretty famous, which means that your GMs and comments are spammed to the brink with people. You need to filter those people out. Unfortunately for you. Oh, what would this be? I guess perception computer.
I'm not bad at technology.
We're gonna say it's difficulty 5 because it's more the tedium that gets you than the actual difficulty of the job.
Yeah, this is actually gonna be hard.
Let's see, how
Let's
does automatic successes work again? Simply put, if the number of dice in your pool is equal to or greater than the task difficulty, your character automatically succeed.
Oh, this means on certain tasks I could have succeeded.
Yeah,
That's amusing.
there's another way to get an automatic success on a roll. That's just spelled, yeah, willpower. You can only do once per turn. So yeah, if you're
So, what's the difficulty?
5.
Okay, I actually made it.
What? Okay, what are we looking at?
I got 2 10s. You said it's a 7 or above success, right?
A 5 or above is a success.
Oh, okay. Because I got a 6, 2 10s, and a 4.
That's like 4 successes. All right. Which this game describes as, where is it? I keep skipping over it. Exceptional, increasing your car's efficiency in the process of repairing it. Nice. I like they use the repair thing for this, but amazing success. You peer through the comments about this. You get a bunch of stuff about this. A lot of people going like, you should be careful. A lot of people just wishing you well, telling you to be cautious, and don't go too far out of town if you're not with a. God, there's probably like a couple of guides who are offering their services. And then you manage to find those weird creeps that always seem to have their ear on the ground, that serve the creepy pasta networks.
God,
know
those
their
people.
stuff. You know those people. But they're good for information when you need them. The basics you get is that in that area. Oh, what's this? Oh, interesting. How good are you with general knowledge, would you say?
Probably okay. Like, I'm pretty focused on different knowledges.
Okay. Well, we'll just roll over with it. The basics of what you get are that people have been vanishing, but in addition, there've been a lot of chit chat about wild men and hunt prowling animals. There's a big worry about wild animals. One of them shows you like God, what is the abbreviation for the Mounties again? It's a fancy word. I can find it actually by going to Golden because I know that there's a station for them there.
Hmm.
See, this is how my brain works. It's like I don't know the abbreviation. However, I know that in Golden there's a station.
The
that
RCMP.
There you go. I know that in Golden I looked at the map and there's a station for it, so I can just look up the station in that fucking place.
Yeah, it's the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
RCM.
Or the Gendarmerie Royale du Canada.
Fuck you, France, with your adjectives behind things. I mean, it's fine. Then they have exceptions and it gets silly. The RCMP has put out bulletins regarding like wild animals don't leave your food out and everything. If what you heard is true, that makes sense. But some of the victims were found exsanguinated. Like, not a drop.
If someone is leaving a message or a warning, or somebody just doesn't give.
Do you have like any training with investigation? Yeah, you do. You have 1 point to investigation. We'll say that's enough with your wits to figure this basic detail out. All the victims are generally just campers and people who went out there. There seems to be a preference for individuals that have, are just healthy, are good snacks, treats, or, There's something that bothers you though. Some of these are just like business guys on a trip. It's weird.
Why would they stay in the middle of the forest?
So they were
beautiful nature.
There.
Yes, we have an aesthetically pleasing view for meat bags here. Let's see them.
Well, if this is true,
So has anyone ever wanted to be in blood donation?
So the upside is, if this information is true, then it means that if you are just there to have a business deal in town, you're probably fine.
Makes sense. Question: is this anywhere near to our clay mountains by any chance?
I have no where they are. Clay Mountains are.
It's a reference to Resident Evil. There were, like, the first game starts, the police goes to investigate disappearances of tourists in the area because they were eaten.
So, well, unfortunately, it seems not possible to actually get like a proper thing set up. However, you can get set up for like an impromptu signing and like a minor small stage performance. It's short-term stuff. Unless you want to stick around for a week, it's not going to happen.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll just do it as a TikTok thing.
Your boss even like, just imagine one of those cigar chomping guys, you know. Listen, I did my best trying to get you all the good venues and all that stuff, but Calgary ain't exactly steaming right now. There's a lot of people worried about those disappearances and stuff. You know, people get a little antsy and they get all weird about it. Not to mention, now, you didn't hear this from me. There's already a guys touring up in Edmonton, so everyone's up in Edmonton, and they ain't coming down to Calgary, even though they know you're the star, the skies. You're the new North Star. You remember that.
I'm a star.
I would like to know what you're doing in Calgary, of all places, but I trust that you got a good reason, and I like these numbers.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
You can almost hear the cigar getting chomped through the phone, like the little bits spitting onto your ear.
And that's my agent.
Hey, he's good at his job, surprisingly.
Yeah, he got me this famous.
He would put a Ventrue to shame with how he knows how to handle his business.
He's a human, though, right?
He's a normal human being, but he is like impressively good at his job.
He's so good the vampire's like, whoa.
Which is probably why the Ventrue allowed you to keep him, because it's like, you know what, don't break what works.
You know, he's way too useful.
He also chimes in, hey, listen, I happen to hear that you're near, what's it called? There's like a launch site nearby there, right? Listen, I got a whole. You can hear like the swoosh as he turns on his chair and like waves his arm through the air like a big gesture. I want you to go to that launch site in the area, and now, do you hear me? You're gonna go there and do a little photo shoot, you know, because I think we're gonna make your next single a little space base, maybe something like that. They're gonna eat it up. I actually looked at the map and I found that there's a place called the launch site, and I thought, hey, fuck it.
The what site?
There's some sort of launch site in the area near Golden.
There's probably like weather satellites or something.
Probably.
Or probably for
weather
boats.
balloons.
No, this was like in the mountains.
Yeah, so
Probably weather balloons and shit.
so how do you get out there then?
I heard there's a road going up there. Now, if you get in the way of anything, don't forget your wink and a smile can open more locks than a big pop can.
No, I think there might be an easier way to get up there.
Ooh.
It might be a little more expensive. It might get us some attention.
Ooh, if you're going out that way, I heard they got a little airport out in that town. Maybe I can get you set up with a plane trip, you know, over the whole place. Oh, they'll love seeing you wave at the mountains.
What about a helicopter?
He's getting a little too excited. You got to be careful. He's gonna go into overdrive.
No, calm
budget.
down. But a helicopter rental. We could rent a helicopter.
Oh yeah, here we go. Mountain 7 launch site. I think this should get you there. It just sounds like a cool place to be.
Yeah.
Man, look at that fucking view, man. Holy shit.
I'm gonna go have a look at that. I'm gonna street view this.
I love that.
It's a paraglider launch site.
You can
nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So it's actually like.
We'll twist it like, be nice and sporty, you know, nice and exciting. A thrill ride. Beautiful view. Beautiful people.
Okay, I can actually street view it too. Cool.
Fucking look at this, man. That's
Oh,
awesome.
that is nice.
Here's the actual website.
Listen, you be careful, right? Because I heard that stuff happen, but that's a man. You'll be fine. You're a star. You shine like the sky. That
It does say that.
you can, however, hear like but it would be kind of neat to put you on one of them spooky ghost shows.
Those shows are passe these days. You know, they're losing audience.
Fun fact: I recently saw like a cool module that's like, hey, you want to play Call of Cthulhu and you're like streamers in a ghost house and it's going fucking terrible. It's great.
Oh my god, I would love to watch people play that actually.
I can show you Seth Skorkowski's video on it. I think it's called Contagious or something, or Virus.
Please do.
You can show it to a
sounds
GM.
amazing.
But point is, he's getting all excited. He's like, oh, I got all these ideas. While you're there, we can do this and that.
Also, this was near where we had the cabin up in Oregon.
Holy shit, that's an incredible view. That was not what I was expecting.
It was a walk up a nearby small mountain to an old ranger station. that got abandoned. Nah, that entire area is actually super nice to pass.
Why are there like 8,000 pictures of walking up to the launch platform?
Because that's what people take a lot of pictures of.
Anyway, you can in fact see Golden from this view, and the airstrip, and the large train yard that's nearby. So that should give you a good idea as to what it looks like. Look at that river carving into the mountain. Dang, that looks good. All right. I should probably get off your back. It's getting late, and listen, I'll always work overtime for you. Don't forget that. Because don't forget,
I know, and
you usually wake up when people start to go to bed or get off work. So
yeah, he works weird hours for me.
listen, I know you're a little bit of a night owl, but don't know this. I want to see those stars shine on your next big thing. Anyway, I'll send you the address on your little phone thing on where you can go for that signing. Now,
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you'll make it work. You hear him like shuffle as if he's putting on his coat. Okay, now I gotta go. I promise the missus I'll be home on time tonight. We got a lovely dinner coming. See you later.
Give her my love.
Oh, she knows that one already. Which he means in like the sense of like, he probably met her and seen her at times during other appointments.
He's my agent. We probably know the family.
Shaking hands. All right, well, that's that contact taken care of. You can take care of that today if you want to. The meeting's probably like in the evening because he knows how you work. He doesn't ask questions. He just knows that you get it done.
Hey, as long as there's money, right?
I mean, to be fair, you have 5 appearance. On pure appearance alone, it'll be like, oh, I can't say no to that face. Noct, as you're taking care of business, you've been looking at newspapers for a while by this point.
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to do? Because I imagine that the conversation that lady's taking care of will take a bit longer.
Well, whatever Liz is going to be doing, I'll have to basically hang out with because I don't want to split out.
Okay.
Because this is not our territory, etc. No.
All right. Well, at the signing, we'll go to the signing real fast because it's not going to take too much time.
You guys don't get killed. I need to go grab a drink because I'm parched.
Liz, you're at the signing.
Yes.
It's a lovely, adorable little bookstore that also sells probably some CDs and music off to the side. It's a lovely little store owned by mom and pop, old lady, relatively young man. Unclear if son or otherwise. You could probably ask, but they're like, "Oh, it's so nice to have you around. My son's friends always talk about your latest CDs and everything." They're very, very polite about it. It's a smaller venue than you usually do, but it's short notice, and they seem like nice people.
Well, and I like helping out smaller places.
And brownie points. If your boss your agent would probably be like, "Oh man, give everyone make you look good."
They still like one of the people.
That man could chew through more cigars than most people can chew through French fries.
I don't even think he smokes.
He just eats them by ambient talking.
Yeah, he only has it for the show. It's impressive, actually.
He just really likes John Jonas. Anyway.
Did they actually say the J was John? Because I know at one point they said that, okay, it is John. Because at one point they said the J stood for J.
That's the Simpsons cop-out. You are at the signing, as I mentioned. She provides you with, like, drinks and cookies. You have a problem. You're a vampire. Eating and keeping things down are a skill instead of something that just happens because your body is like, I would prefer not to have shit in this organ that has ceased to function as intended. So, can I get a what would be a good role for this? Because you're trying to do this while other people are like constantly streaming in, going like, "Oh, we love you, Liz," and they're like, "Oh, what's your next big gig gonna be? Where are you going? Why are you here? Ah!" You have to sign shirts, books, CDs, and more, and probably like a flash drive that has illegal pirated versions of your songs.
God, every time.
Hey, to be fair, the pirates give you a better return of investment than fucking Spotify does.
Yeah, Spotify just literally takes it and gives it to people.
Meanwhile, pirates tend to buy your merch. And it doesn't show up on a playlist where they pay you a penny for it. All right. But I'm going to need something for you to make this work. Because I think. How about you roll me willpower and subterfuge? Because subterfuge is kind of like the emotional sneaky skill.
So what's the difficulty?
I mean, you've probably done this a few times, so let's say like 5. It's not the
Because
hardest
I
thing in
have
the world.
a total of 8.
Of 8 successes, then?
No, of 8 points.
Go for it. The difficulty doesn't affect how many dice you have. It just affects the target number.
Okay.
I mean, if you have 8 dice, then yes, I guess you could just kind of stomach through it, yes. I forgot about that. Sorry,
Okay.
automatic success was new to me.
Well, I'm just going to point what I rolled anyway. Here it is.
I'm very polite of you, thank you.
Send. Discord. If you would. That was like...
However, I do want you to roll charisma, manipulation, and performance. Either charisma or manipulation. For how well did it go? Holy shit, that is an incredible roll. You keep a clean face, but how well did the signing go? What kind of impression did you leave on these people? Is it going to be the talk of town or otherwise? I think it's going to be 8 in total anyway, but...
It is 8.
No automatic successes
Okay.
here. I want to see the degree of success.
Okay.
We'll say it's a 7, because you're trying to leave a good impression. That's not the easiest thing in the world. Actually, no. This would be standard. I'm actually being very pessimistic about how these difficulty numbers work.
The number doesn't change.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's see. We got 3 successes there, 4, 6... No, 4, 5, 6. Okay. That is phenomenal. So... What are you... You're in this nice old granny lady store, and it's an incredible success. It's practically a party. Some people start hiking it up. The old lady tries her best to understand the situation and what the kids are doing. There's a limit to what she can do at her age, though. She's less stiff than old...
She ran out of books.
She's less rigid than some vampires, though. Some people probably buy, like, other books that, like, have good covers for signing that are completely unrelated to what you do. By the end of it, you've left such a strong impression, like a marketing campaign. The old lady begins to close down her shop because it is late. You've been here for a few hours, so it's like, oof, starting to approach like 8, 7. It's late for shops to be open. She very much thanks you for showing up. You get like a little handshake. She gives you like an extra plate of cookies for you to take home. Gives you all the leftovers.
Very polite and take them.
That's adorable.
She would like... I find it rather strange that you showed up with this strange old trio of men, but I guess with all these rumors going about evil things happening, I guess security would be a bit tighter. But you tell your lovely little boss not to worry about things. These things just happen from time to time, you know. People always tend to vanish and they show up again, or it's just an anomaly of the numbers. She paps your cheek.
Okay, imagine she turns out to be a sort of monster too.
When she pat the cheek. Oh wow, you're gonna catch your death of cold.
When she pats your cheek, so you're a little chilly there. But please, do dress up a little. She reaches around her neck to grab her own scarf so that she can give it to you because she's like, oh, you're cold.
No, I have better clothes back at the hotel. I just had to dress proper, you know.
I know that you're usually hanging out in America, which is warmer. But no, it's very cold in the Rockies, isn't it? Actually.
And Appalachia, if you're in New York.
Oh, I can't imagine that you have gone to Las Vegas and then there. So many changes in temperature. I'd personally lose my fingers over something like that.
Oh, you get used to it after a while. I'm so busy. I don't stay in places very long, so you get used to temperatures.
Oh, quick question though. What time of year it is right now?
Spring, autumn. It's in the middle of things.
Gotcha.
Mostly because time of day is a bit easier to manage, and partially because, you know, winter will be too cold, and summer has too much sunlight. She's very ecstatic about what you've done. She's very glad that you've been around. She probably gives you like, oh, you can come back anytime you want to, darling. Which is an impression you get with a lot of people. Because again, winning smile.
And I promise I'll come back if I'm ever in the Calgary area again.
Noct, you've been spending the whole thing outside, waiting. You've probably ran through your head multiple times that you need to find some form of transport to get there.
Yes.
And preferably start driving early.
Yes. Well, late, quote unquote.
Early for us.
It's late enough as it is.
It's not tomorrow until I rest.
That's what I always say.
A full-size Snicker is how you bribe death on Halloween night.
That's how she would bribe me. Just like fucking have cookies. I'm like, fuck it.
To be
You're
honest,
good.
I think part of the reason is also that she's not like freaked out. He's like, oh man, she's nice and she gives me good candy. Oh crap.
Yeah,
Oh.
look, the house that gives out the full-size candy gets to live another year. There is no question. Like, you get that one house that gives out friggin' apples, he's gonna move them up the list.
Gosh.
Anyway, you need to go into the mountains, buckos.
True.
Then there's the dentist house where they give out actual, like, disposable toothbrushes.
Oh my god.
That guy
These
dies
guys
on sight.
He explodes immediately as you put the bullets.
No, he doesn't die.
That
on
actually
sight because
happened, by the way. There was a dentist who lived down the road from me, and he actually gave out disposable toothbrushes on Halloween.
All right.
He doesn't die on sight because it's gonna ruin the holiday for kids.
So how do you want to manage your trip over there?
I mean, probably an SUV would be good.
What if we go and try to find the helicopter?
Helicopter? I mean, sure, why not? It's a little bit harder to You know what? There's not a whole lot outside the vampires that would be able to reach it too, so that's good.
What do you mean?
Because it's flying.
Yeah,
Like, I'd like to see
safety
a
is.
werewolf jumping up. Yeah.
I mean, they're
Oh, that is unfortunate.
what is?
I just looked up helicopter rentals in Calgary just to make sure it was actually an actual thing. And well,
I told you about Lesser Slave Lake, and now this is coming up, huh? Oh,
I mean, look, it's just
that
unfortunately
name
historical
is
names.
very uncomfortable.
listen, it honestly just sounds like he doesn't have a lot of confidence in the craft that he's offering.
I mean, I still have HDDs with master slave switches on them.
I
Or
mean,
drop
that is a whole different meaning technically, but it's still not
That's
great.
true. But it's still kind of that's why they're moving away from that shit.
Ugh. God damn it! Do I have to call the?
Fine.
How am I supposed to have my BDSM fun if I can't call him master? He's like, no, I'm just your superior now. It's like, God damn it, I don't want to go to work.
I'm your manager.
I don't want to go to work.
My
God,
dungeon
that'd be the
superior.
weirdest BDSM thing. I want to go and be treated like a lesser office worker.
You know,
I mean,
you
it's
could just
technically
get a
the modern
job, and it's like,
slavery.
no, it's not the same.
It's not the same if I'm actually being paid.
Is that the same if the HR lawsuit is real? Oh.
Okay, we're flying a slave helicopter today, I guess.
Please no. I mean, they have great ratings. That's impressive. But
Yeah.
they close at 11
Uh,
p.m., so you could probably take care of this. Yes. All right. You head on over. You sort this out. You head on over. It's a lovely little, like a little baby airport, like a little helipad and a little landing zone. You know, probably like standard requirements. Like if you want to have a helipad, you have to have this. If you're going to be a non-building helipad, or maybe they don't even allow building who knows? The building's lights are still on. It's this little thing, and there's an adjacent like control tower for the controlling. Yep.
I have a rough idea. I've been following that lady that thinks sunspots on the camera.
Oh God,
It's
yes.
like too much intensity. Yeah, she thinks it's like some sort of NASA spaceship sun simulator.
I love the part where she looks at satellite footage and she sees like the lights of a city, and it's like, that's a floating city.
Yeah, it's not. It's Earth.
It's just,
dummy.
just fucking Earth.
No, that's a different lady actually. That's two different ladies, but they're both
Oh.
funny.
I can't stand when Jessica Alberts opens up her mouth because she just has a way of speaking that grates me. Ooh.
Yeah, I found her actually giving an interview as an expert on the planet Nibiru. on some
Oh.
BBC
Oh my
channel.
god.
I know, right?
All right, you're outside of an airport and you want to hire a helicopter. The guy behind the counter looks like he's ready to call it a day. The weekend is approaching, after all. You can hear his
I'm
foot tapping when you
sliding.
enter. A little ding ding. Hello. He slaps his face. Welcome to Calgary Helicopter Chartering. How may I be of service?
I'm just gonna slide up. Hi, I'm sorry about the late hours.
Adjust his tie and his
Work
button up
times.
quick.
Liz Kilroy. I'm looking to charter a helicopter for the weekend.
Wait a minute, aren't you the lady of my son? Oh, wait, for the what? For the weekend?
Yeah, just we need to go up to up past Golden, check out the launch site.
Hmm.
It's part of a show I'm working on.
You sure about that? I heard the airport's been funny lately.
Yeah, and that's we've heard there's been some issues, and that's why we figured a helicopter would be a lot safer, a lot less contact time. You know.
Hmm. Well, I have to contact Alpine Helicopter about that ahead of time, but I guess we can see about that. Do you need a pilot or are you certified?
We need a
Are
pilot
you
then.
certified?
I would like to point out that being certified, I do mean like nighttime certified, because if you're planning to take off right now, which, considering what my son says about you, is probably the case,
Oh, it was going to be tomorrow, but it would be night.
would it kill you to live stream during the day?
Oh, you know what they say: changing your sleep schedule can be fatal.
Hmm. Fair enough. All right. Let's take a look. See. Kind of licks his lips and looks to all the things. So as for helicopter flying skills, that's a great question. The best
Yeah, 'cause
I'm gonna look at some abilities. They're not called skills; they're called abilities. I don't know why the game is weird like this.
well, because they break you up into knowledge, skill, and talent.
It makes me wiggle.
Because like talents aren't things that you necessarily train; they're things you might just be good at.
Okay. I think drive is supposed to be what the fuck ever.
Only have 1 point.
I've got two.
Because the game doesn't give a shit. Let's see. 2 means you can drive stick shift, unless you think that your character would have particular skill flying a helicopter.
No, but also that means my character is better at driving than I am because I can't drive a stick.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
I can drive a stick, but not very well. Because
Oh,
technically I'm legally not allowed to drive a car. So I
well,
haven't had a lot of practice. The first time I tried, I almost ran some bicyclists.
I guess the
over.
little old Kenny's gonna be flying at night then,
Yep.
Poor guy.
Oh, we'll give him a good tip. Don't worry.
He goes over the paperwork with you. All standard stuff. Scribble, scribble, sign, sign. And soon enough, you're set up with a helicopter, and you meet up with Kenny. What a joyous guy. He's a bit lean, and he has that weird look in his eye, but he's in like a big flight jumpsuit. He's got the big helmet. Well, howdy.
Just for a sake of reference, and we only see his eyes from his helmet.
Presumably, with the helmet and glasses on, you couldn't see his eyes either.
Oh, fair enough. No. It's just Kenny McCormick.
Oh yeah,
Oh no,
I know
my
what
God,
you're
they
talking
killed
about.
Kenny. All right.
Soon enough, you are greeted by good old Kenny. He steps out. He wants to shake your hand and everything. Like, I am Kenny. I'll be a pilot for the coming few days.
Good evening.
Going out to 4 people, huh? He takes a look at the little flight schedule you filled and everything. Well, I will be honest. I was planning to take over a little thing over to Golden. You can't do private deliveries by helicopter, Kenny. Oh, come on. It's just a couple of things. Besides, I can cover the fuel costs. He waves his hand at you. So, what a crowd. A pretty little thing. You and 2 very quiet looking fellas in the back.
Yes.
They're the bag boys.
Yes.
What
Watchers.
bags?
There go. That's the word.
Never mind. I shouldn't intrude. Again, Kenny. May I get your name? You pick up the paper. Elizabeth. Knocked. Ooh. You from out of town, huh? That's
Yes.
What's that name? I think that's like a Germanic name. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Got ourselves some European visitors, huh?
Munich.
He just starts speaking Russian,
I mean, I
not
could.
even German.
I could. It's. Кто изобрел сэндвич дикобразом?
Happy Life Ericsson's Day. Well, I know I do gotta disappoint you though. Night flying ain't exactly the most exciting thing. Well, even Mr. You know what the best part about late night flights is? It's when you go up into the air and you see the sun slowly crawl up over the horizon when you gain altitude. It's hard to get right, but it's beautiful.
Well, it's probably not something that we would want to see. So
It's
I
a
mean, we
view
can
to,
see it when the sun's setting.
It's a view to die for. But
Man,
So-
we are making a whole bunch of these puns today.
listen,
this is great. I love it.
this is why vampires and mortals don't get along, and werewolves and vampires don't get along. Nobody gets along because everyone is making puns.
Everybody
it's
has
just
everybody
there's enough
has lived
times you
for
get pissed.
everybody has lived for so long that everybody has heard all these goddamn puns before. It's just boring.
You act like this is one of the oldest ones in the book. I wrote that book.
I wrote that. Don't quote the ancient magic to me, witch. Was there when it was written? Gosh.
What the hell? All
Oh,
right,
yeah,
we'll
something
cut it off here
completely.
for today with you guys taking a little helicopter ride, soon seeing the beautiful sights.
No, this is neat, and maybe Poland will catch up with us over there.
Yeah, he
next
could
time.
show up somewhere, just like pop in.
Turns out he was in the helicopter's baggage compartment all along.
He was in the bag, yeah.
He was in the one of the bags, yeah.
Or you just find him at the launch site, or
I mean, a vampire with enough blood could probably just sit in the bag for a while if he can endure the waiting.
he just got a camel pack with a bunch of blood in it.
Blood bags do work. They're not recommended because blood not fresh from the body is like stale and dusty.
I mean, so was yesterday's leftovers, but did you turn your nose to them?
That's some salad.
Yesterday's pizza is great.
Anyway, kids and cadets, next time our heroes are going to Golden. Will they be besieged? Will they find their businessman and take care of business businessly?
Oh,
I'm sure it'll be
for a businessman.
fine.
Oh wait, no, we kind of do.
What?
Actually, we are looking for a person of business, but not the businessman, because the businessman is on the phone with Zalat.
Yeah, not my boss. He's not here. He's like in LA or something.
Yeah, we're going to to try and get the guy to sign a contract in the middle of like an infestation of Wendigos. Oh boy.
Wow, we really are in Until Dawn.
Yeah, good thing I'm supposedly like a somewhat old-fashioned. Otherwise, you'd hear at least one Windusy joke. What are
2 hours later this happens?
Yes, this is fun. What exactly are Wendigos in this setting, by the way?
Sure, I'll give you some more details if you want it. Let's see. So the big thing in the werewolf books is like something called the Worm, which I think is like end of the world, bad boy.
Satan.
Apparently they are cannibals, though.
That is consistent.
I mean, they had to keep
The
that.
Wendigos human kinfolk are exclusively Native American people. Oh. Their tribal totem is the Wendigo, the cannibal spirit of winter. They also strike pacts with lesser spirits of ice and storm, with spirits that share the greater Wendigo's hunger, such as the wolverine and mosquito. They are a hardy, warlike group, strong physical attributes. They have few that are... Okay. Beginning gifts, beat of the heart drum, call of the breeze, camouflage, ice echo, and resist pain. God, cool sounding abilities. Getting me hyped up for this. Yeah, I think the whole idea behind the Wendigo is that it even mentions like the Europeans showed up and these guys were like, "Fuck you, get out of here," and they just got madder as things went on. What are like the Worm? There we go. The Worm, the enemies. Let's see. The Black Spiral Dancers. Who are these guys? They look like nasty business. Get a load of this guy. I'm nobody now. Oh, his mustache. Oh, here we go. The Black Spiral Dancers are the only werewolf tribe to wholly turn to the Worm.
Huh.
Some show signs of degeneracy at an early age. Acting out displays of violence. So these are the actual bad guys that I was thinking of. Cool name, though, Black Spiral Dancers. Gifts. They gain Bane Protector, resist pain, resist toxins, sense Virum. With a Y. Allies below. Horns of the Impaler. Look at the shit. No wonder they call it Werewolf the Apocalypse. There's a lot here. Balefire.
Just a frame.
Oh, cool. Love when that happens. I'm gonna just take a screenshot. Take a little snippy. I love that he's holding this awkward knife and about to stab himself in the elbow. Oh yeah, corporations. Pentax. Yeah. Pentax subsidiaries. Endron Oil, Sunburst Computers, Incognito, Tellus. Ugh.
Kind of amusing, actually.
Oh, this is a good picture. Oh,
Show me.
this is a good one. 3 mercs around the corner. 1 werewolf. I don't like the odds. For him.
That's amusing.
For
though.
them.
That's just hilarious.
This guy knows exactly how much shit he's in.
Yes. This is cool. I like pictures like that. They're like literally on the other side of this wall. Of the same wall.
Developmental neogenics amalgamated. DNA. Ho ho ho. What? Focused on genetic engineering, mapping the human genome, and hunting werewolves on the side if they can afford it. They are actively aware of the Guru, which what the werewolves call themselves.
Garou.
Grau. Garou.
Yep.
Found a picture of Nock taking a
Guru.
selfie.
I'm feeling cute. Oh gosh. Take a picture and suddenly it's like I'm not even on it. The alien I captured in my basement.
No, this is Nock. This is just how they look, I guess. Have one an appearance.
Awesome. I like this a lot. Oh, there's so much here. Dead man's hand. Oof, oof, ooh. Governments. No, I'm looking for. Yeah. The supernatural hunters.
My God.
There's like a whole order whose whole job it is to fuck up the supernatural. I like it a lot.
Davi,
What is it?
at this.
Nice bike. Having a fun time, I guess. I don't get it.
When you have a bike like that, you can afford to be silly.
Fair enough. I dig it. Let's see what was the order called again, because it's a cool name. Permutations, web hunters, bloodlines, witch hunters. The Society of Leopold. Historians think of the Inquisition as the frightening face the Catholic Church showed the world from 1231 to 1834. But kindred know that the Inquisition didn't end in the 19th century, but endures to the present night. Ugh, not a present day. Cute. I love those parts. It's so edgy. More fearsome than ever. Indeed, few mortals conjure dread among knowledgeable vampires the way the modern Inquisitors do. They got a real cool picture of a guy who does look like he's about to take a vampire out to Christmas. How good are they? Probably.
Holy shit, what a face.
This guy's probably seen some shit.
Looks like Mr. X, actually. He's amusing. Well, minus the shirt.
Man, this is so neat. I love it. The U.S. government. They're on this list too. How much do they know? Government agent. Nice. Humanity 6 to 8.
Look at that.
Anyway, I gotta go. Sleep and everything.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
It is sleepy time.
It is sleepy
Boys,
time.